wonderful. We're live. Quick late start. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Poetry Open Mic ASHEViLLE. My name's Caleb Beissert. It's a pleasure to be your host this evening. Thank you for joining us. This is, can we get a hand for all of our performers tonight on Poetry Open Mic ASHEViLLE? There we go. Very nice. Thank you. That'll work. Big shout out tonight to our technical director, Morgan Beissert, holding things down, running the show. And thank you to everyone joining us out there in virtual land. Thank you for joining us. We have a great open mic for you tonight. I'm going to get down to it and start things off with the poetry. I'm joining you tonight from somewhere in the mountains of North Carolina, to wherever you are. Anywhere in the world now. So thanks for joining in. We really appreciate the likes, we appreciate the cocks, comments, and shares. So keep them coming, please. Oh, that's what I said. The Fresh Bread. This is a poem I translated from the ancient Sufi mystic Jalaluddin Rumi. My poetry is like Egyptian bread. Once the night passes over it, you cannot eat it anymore. Devour it the instant it's fresh, before dust settles on it. Its place is in the warm climate of the chest. In this cold world, it dies from the chill. Like a fish, it trembles for a moment on dry land. The next, you see it is cold. Even if you eat it and imagine it is fresh and warm, you must think up many images. This you drink is your own imagination. It is no ancient story, my good human. Well, Rumi, to get us started. Here's some originals. And thank you for being here tonight. If you're just tuning in, this is Poetry Open Mic ASHEViLLE, brought to you by Sovereign Kava. And big shout out to our friends down at the Kava bar, all our Kava people listening in tonight. Y'all grab a Kava while you still can, tip your barkeeps. And anyway, for everyone out there, the Kava bar is open for to-go orders, mass required. And if you're performing tonight, you get a free double of Kava, so check it out. This is called Snake Bracelets. The child's names for things. The child's secret language. The child explores the house by night. The child makes up language. The lion in the attic. Getting kicked out of the Museo de Jamón. A few mojitos and sour gummy bears in, among the wall of hanging ham legs that circled the bar with glass cases full of more meats arranged like flowers and racks of dark Spanish wines and sherries. I attempt to order the finest cured goose ham, carefully mispronouncing every word with my sorghum molasses accent. The bartender just shakes his head and walks away. I knew then that it was time for me to leave. This museum wasn't for me to see or taste. I hear dishes break in the kitchen. Someone is shouting. I walk out quick-like into the cobbled street and hear Cuban Chaz creep around a corner, but I can't tell from which bar. This is a poem. This is a poem about alchemy. This is called Device for Distilling Lunar Humidity. A crucible holds flesh-like water through which astral salt filters universe mercury, salt of metals, from this aqua viscos, vegetables, animals, minerals, sustained by dew of the stars, at their cores infused by lunar and solar moisture, crafted of earth and spirit, lightning echoes in little jars and gallery walls. This elusive essence. Robbed of this, they suffocate and decay. What the eyes can't see, these tools will render in alembic flashes, purple dust of fermented thought. Walk across this grass to the threshold of forest and time. The old book contained a diagram for an apparatus to attract lunar humidity. It collects through a cone connected to 3 cucubates, distilling the fine dew into essence of the moon and all dark winter nights included. The alchemist, in seas of loneliness, his deep contemplation of leaves on balconies over cobblestone streets that end in forest, blue lutes drone from somewhere under the moon, the humidity visible on the breath of every animal, on each path, guided by moonlight from ravines and cliffs, poured onto the roads in wind-swept miles, pouring into rivers that pour dreams into ears. Moonbeam touch the warm temples of the sleeping one, learning a new alphabet in dreams, with the unknown speaking in dialects unknown, turning into different form. Nothing can be captured. Nothing, only changed as we change, constant, like the turning of dew into vapor and back again, splitting self into patterns of blood, gold, cinnabar, subliming mercury, brimstone, quicksilver, vermilion of the mountains of the moon, radiating water like feather down, descending on the morning grass as breath rises from those that breathe. Winter sky, deep red night, droplets collect in the jars as the alchemist recalibrates the apparatus. Thank you for being with us tonight. Just a couple more poems here, and then we're gonna get some open micers on here. I think we got Christopher T. George up first, and then Kevin Evans. I think there may be a space or two left to sign up tonight. If anyone else wants to grab a spot, just follow that StreamYard link. If you're performing tonight, make sure you enter the broadcast studio so we know that you're ready to go here, and we'll get everyone on here as soon as possible. I hope y'all are out there staying safe and staying warm this evening. And thank you for all the comments, likes, and shares. I see we're starting to get some comments rolling in. Big shout out to everyone. Thank you for that. Yeah, appreciate you. I think I saw some of that. Those were hopefully nice things. But whatever. Feel free to heckle me, but not the other performers, please. This poem's called Really Good Sex. An old blind woman in Mongolia suddenly is stricken with sight. This one's called Inhabitant. She knew about the forest. She wandered grocery store aisles looking for a plum. And this one's called Wheel Turning in Wind. I am wild for the lion tamer. There's nothing I can say she doesn't know. Dream spell synchronous. We'll skip that for sake of time and do the friend. Study the cow's behavior, the slow chew of cud, the situation in a palm of a hand. Relax, in spite of all we know. I often don't see what's in front of me. A pond, an old road going nowhere. The Lunar moth born with one wing. I often don't see that you see me. You find me, like the wildcat, when a voice speaks out of the darkness. Thanks. That's it for my originals. I'll leave you with this Jane Hirschfield poem for now. In case that didn't get us going. Jane Hirschfield, the master poet, certainly will. And thank you all for being here tonight for Poetry Open Mic, Asheville. My debt. Like all who believe in the senses, I was an accountant, copyist, statistician, not registrar, witness, permitted to touch the leaf of a thistle, the trembling work of a spider, to ponder the Hubble's recordings. It did not matter if I believed in the party of particle or of wave, as I carried no weapon. It did not matter if I believed. I weighed ashes, actions, cities that glittered like rubies on the scales I was given, calibrated in units of fear and amazement. I wrote the word it. The word is. I entered the debt that is owed to the real. Forgive. Spine-covered leaf. Soft-bodied spider. Octopus lifting one curious tentacle back toward the hand of the diver, that in such black ink I set down your flammable colors. Thank you for being here tonight for Poetry Open Mic. We're going to go on to our first guest now. We have Christopher T. George connected. Let's see if we can bring him on here. You're going to have to make a whole bunch of noise, though. I think you know what to do out there, wherever you are, whether you're at home, sitting by the fire, or sitting in the cold, as it is, and or sitting outside the Kava bar. Hey, what's up, y'all out there? Hey. Or you know, wherever you are in public, jump up and down, scream and shout, tap your heels together, and make a whole shit ton of noise for Christopher T. George! Christopher!
Hello.
Hey there, good evening. How you doing tonight? How's Delaware?
All right, good. Now, you have me all confused because you're in a different environment. What's going on?
Oh, yes. We're hosting from a different location tonight.
Okay.
Had to get away for a night or two. So yes, we're set up here in the mountains up near Grandfather Mountain in North Carolina here.
The fireplace reminded me a bit of the fireplace at the Grove Park Inn.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it doesn't have the ironwork around it, but, you know,
right,
it's a big fireplace, you know.
Oh, yes, the two big fireplaces at the Grove Park. Yeah, you can pretty much stand inside one of those. Of course, I wouldn't recommend it with the fire going, but
I don't think so.
anyway, what's up in Delaware? Is it cold there yet?
Yeah,
You
we're
getting any snow?
supposed to get about 5 inches of snow starting early in the morning. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, we've had several snows and they've all disappeared one after the other, and there's nothing out there right now. So
Right. Yeah. We shall see. We shall
Yep.
see. Wonderful. Well, you bring some poems tonight?
I certainly did, and I'm not a musician, but I have a couple of poems in which I imagine that I was in a band in the '60s.
Oh, cool.
So I'll lead
That
off
sounds fun.
with those.
All right, very good. Well, we'll turn it over to you, but everyone out there, give it up one more time for Christopher T. George.
Okay. Some of you may know that John Lennon first learned to play music on the banjo because his mother played the banjo. And this first poem that I'm going to read is called Uke, Y-U-K-E. And it imagines that this particular guy in a '60s band learned to play on a ukulele. And there was a musician, an actor in the '30s going into the '40s in England called George Formby, who played the ukulele. Uke. You learned to play chords on your dad's ukulele, strumming as George Formby, uked and crooned. I'm leaning on a lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady comes by. The toothy comic actor leered out between the first licks you played in your deaf granny's front parlour amid the antimacassars and aspidistras. A cracked 78 on the gramophone. Lanks lad, you graduated from ukulele to Stratocaster, robust as a black pud, a plump blood sausage, sounds sweet as an Eccles cake, raisins and sugar, as you peeled out an arpeggio of notes, smoky northern clubs, morning stale beer in city jiggers, ciggies on our lower lips, as under a wet sky we lugged our gear home. Lads who might have been us earlier blinked at us and ignored us, got back to their scratch football. Trees Heath is a place in the English Midlands. It has a transport cafe where buses travelling north often stop. Trees Heath, summer '68. The band's van expires on the abandoned airbase. A transport cafe proprietor, broken-nosed, tangerine-toothed, serves me coffee. The sharp stink of Lysol and espresso. Garth and Uke click dominoes. Don't glance up as I stumble out and puke in the yellow gorse. Empty runways, camouflage grey hangars, heathland stretching in every direction. Ghost B-24s buzz the chickweed cement. I swab my mouth. I've another riff to play. And when I first came to the United States, it was 1955. I was age 7. 7 months later, Emmett Till was killed in Mississippi. And this is a poem that I recently wrote about the lynching of Emmett Till. Emmett Till, the end of time. Emmett, till I came to America, age 7, I didn't know the expression Good Samaritan or Goods American, as I misheard the term. It was January 30th, 1955, when I first set foot on US soil on a New York dockside. 7 months later, You were age 14 and 1 month old, the black teen from Chicago visiting relatives near Money, Mississippi, who broke an unspoken rule, the whites claimed, by flirting in the store with a young white woman aged 21. Emmett, till then, you were 7 years and 8 months older than me when they murdered you, bludgeoned you, your face a bloody pulp, and they shot you in the head, corpse latched to a cotton gin, threw you in the Tallahatchie River. Emmett Till, you and I are tied together. Emmett Till the end of time. Emmett Till we get the message, all lives matter. A couple of poems, environmentally cognizant, you might say. Digging out, it's not the time to be silent. About the water, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the pollution. About the vinyl and the mylar, think twice, friend, before you let loose that balloon or chuck that plastic bottle in the woods, the stream, the street. That drain will carry your junk down into the bay and out to sea. Let's call a spade a spade. Start shoveling before it's too late. The future is fuchsia, blood red. We may be already fucked. Look, it's how we're bred, how we think about our planet. Climate change is happening all around us every second. And if we don't take action, we'll all be drowned by the deluge. No more red meat, from the new poems of Alfred Vedderson. And this came from a Washington Post headline that I read. Daily red meat raises chances of dying early. Friend, no more grass-fed bison filet mignon. And bro, hold that Rasta beef jerky, man. No more steak tartare, bid tata. 'Twill plunge your life chances far. No more London broil, rather boil in oil. No boneless strip steaks for life's sake. Friend, enjoy your sake, whiskey and gin while you can. Time for you to begin to savor a wild mushroom salad with thyme and heart of romaine with wedge of lime, heap of artichoke hummus, asparagus couscous, albacore tuna with a regular, no excuse. And I'll end with this one. This is a satirical poem called No Relief. How dare you starve on our national TV? You stare at the camera with eyes so large they might be filled with stars, with oceans, with the treasure of Fort Knox, not just with plain old hunger we can satisfy by opening the refrigerator. Don't flaunt your tragedy at me. You have hunger enough, we could drive a Cadillac through it. How dare you show your ribs like that? This isn't the Smithsonian. These sort of things just don't happen. Didn't anyone tell you? Crawl on back through time and join those other miseries. Dachau, Wounded Knee, the Black Death. How dare you thrust your bloated torso out? You're just not svelte enough. Don't shove your hand of a claw toward me. Don't open your mouth with your disasters of teeth. When did you last see your orthodontist? Don't speak to me. We can have no converse.
Very nice, Christopher. Very good stuff.
Thank you.
I dig it. I felt like I was playing in the band too, man.
Well, you
Cool
do
stuff.
play in a band, man.
Well, I do, but So I guess what I'm saying is I felt it was an accurate description.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Christopher, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for being here tonight. And yeah. Good luck. Good luck with the supposed snow and all that. And we'll hopefully see you next week.
Yeah, look forward to that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Christopher. It's always a pleasure.
Sure, same here.
Indeed. Y'all give it up one more time for Christopher T. George joining us this evening all the way from Delaware. Thank you, Christopher. All right. And you're tuned into the one and only Poetry Open Mic Asheville, Asheville's longest running and voted best open mic. Thanks to your support. So please keep supporting the open mic. We love all the likes, comments, and shares. You can also support Sovereign Kava, who is our sponsor, and get a drink. They're open noon to 9 every day of the week. Just wear a mask and go get your drinks. If you're performing tonight, you got a free 2-for-1 shot waiting on you, so be sure and pick that up. We're rocking and rolling here. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Yes, indeed. I am joining you from my grandfather's house here in the mountains. You know, keeping the vibe alive and bringing you poetry and art and love to wherever you may be out there in the world. So keep it locked here. We got plenty more coming at you. The amazing Kevin Evans is up next. We love Kevin Evans. He's one of our great Asheville poets here. And he'll be joining us tonight from Candler, I believe, just outside of Asheville. And let's see if we can get Kevin beamed in here. You know what you got to do there. Rub your hands together. And scream and shout and make a whole bunch of noise. Woo! For Kevin Evans! What's up, Kevin?
Hey, can you see me?
Yeah, a little bit. Way out there in the distance. I can hear you there. That's what's important.
Yeah, I can't. My thing froze up as far as what I can see in live time.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, hey, man. I mean, we can hear you loud and clear. I don't think Morgan says it sounds good. So,
okay.
Heck, man, as long as we got you connected for now, I'll just turn it over to you and let you read the poems and play the harmonica or whatever you feel like doing tonight.
Yeah, there may not be much poetry tonight, strangely enough, but I am going to tell a bit of a story if I'm successful at it.
Oh, cool. Well, Kevin's a great storyteller, so y'all check this out, and we'll turn it over to you, Kevin. Make a whole bunch of noise, though, for Kevin one more time. Give it up.
Thank you. Okay. So, I do have a little bit to read, but then after that, I'll tell a bit of stories and see where we go from there. So this is something I wrote last week. It was just something that popped in my head that I felt was just where I was coming from a true place. In my spare time, anytime, what do? I study people, as I have done my whole damn life. And I haven't figured out a fucking single one yet. Not even my damn self. And that's one of those things that makes human people folk so freaking interesting. No matter how predictable, every single person has a surprise for you that they may never share with the rest of the world, the rest of the class. But perhaps now, this is the time. All right. I do have a little bit of a poem that I started trying to sketch and write on a bit earlier in the week or weekend or something. but it's nothing much. It's just a stream, sort of. May not make any sense. Can you disarm with art? Arm in the headlock, body encased in steel, carved and cocked phallus exploding into human passion, rage, death, just as quick as you can click, as quick as you can flick, for cigarette dressed in beer or incense, promises and lawlessness, polished and passionate ignorance. That's all I have for that. Yeah, so story time. All right. And I guess this is definitely related, not I guess, to Black History Month. And so I'll begin with the fact that I've been working in Marshall on a construction site um, for a couple of months. So anyway, there's this older Black fellow, H.K. Edgerton, who I believe is about 74 years old. And if you Google him, he's labeled as an American activist. A lot of local people know him because he's the older Black fella who's part of Sons of the Confederacy, um, something of that nature. I'm sorry if I don't have that completely accurate. Um, but he's a member of that, and he was also a member of the local chapter of the NAACP. So he was actually for the past week or so, he's been around lunchtime, I guess, for about 30 minutes or so. He's been flagging. He's been having his little flag in front of the courthouse there in Marshall and Madison County. And, you know, so I see it almost every day at some point, even though it's kind of across the bridge. But if I go on that side or whatever, if I drive through there, you'll see it. I don't pay much attention. I'm pretty familiar with him and whatnot, and how can I put it? I kind of can understand a bit of where he was coming from and why he was promoting that there were Black people who fought for the Confederacy and things of this nature. And he's talking about his heritage and whatnot. But it's still kind of jarring and kind of a little confusing and whatnot. So anyway, he had other supporters today out there, two white males out there who also had flags. And so it's just kind of weird when I drove by when I was riding in the work truck. I was a passenger, and it was just kind of odd. And then they waved. Not he didn't wave, but one of the guys who was out there supporting waved as well. And yeah, I didn't wave. I just kind of pointed my finger forward, my pointer finger forward, and then just kept it moving. I want no parts of any of the nonsense. Wherever people are coming from, no judgment there. It's just, anyhow. So that leads into it. I'm really tired of seeing it every day. Honestly, you don't want to see that every day on your lunch break. First of all, I don't personally, for personal reasons, and I'll get into that. Uh, well, first of all, many people know, or even through my poems, I've revealed that my family's actually from Mississippi originally, Columbus, Mississippi. My grandfather, my mother's father, I'm sorry. Yeah, my mother's father was a Southern Baptist preacher and also a school principal. Uh, so anyway, growing up in the segregated South, my mother has been telling stories on Zoom for the past couple of weeks on Sundays. And there's a family Zoom because I have family all over the country in Texas and California, Virginia. So that's become a tradition, especially during the pandemic. So recently she was telling stories about when she was growing up. She was born in 1959 in Columbus, Mississippi, and things related to segregation and the whites only, blacks only thing, and all of this. And she was telling a story about our grandfather, who, mind you, held 3 degrees, one in theology, one in music, and one in education. So she was trying to explain the race relations and how it worked, and how, as a little girl, if she was standing in line and the colored people's line was shorter than the whites line, people could just go right in front of you and you couldn't really say anything. And a lot of times they were a bit rude, and would say things you wouldn't like, even if you were a little girl or a little boy. So, anyway, she explained how she thought it was strange how my father, I'm sorry, my grandfather, her father, would end up saying yes, sir, or yes, ma'am to little children who may be 10 years old or something of that nature. Um, Even to the point where people much younger than him, if they were of the white race or Caucasians, would could call him boy and would call him boy, and he would just have to take it and even say yes, sir, yes, ma'am, things of this nature. So my mother even thought that was very strange as a little girl, and she questioned him about it. And essentially, he said, "Be quiet, don't get us killed," basically. And that was a particular story I hadn't heard before, in that particular sense. Although I knew there were sentiments of this nature, you just knew about it. But I found that very interesting. And of course, my niece and nephews were of a whole different generation, even than myself, were even more shocked by that and amazed that that actually occurred in America. But yeah, I think that's about the end of that story. I'm not sure how long this has been going on because I can't see the time real. Um, I don't know, but I wouldn't mind closing out with a little blues harp, but it'll just take a second here. Sorry, let's start that again. I don't know if anybody could see, hear me, or anything. I I can't tell.
Sounded and looked great, Kevin.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, totally. Thank you so much, man. And yeah, thank you for sharing that. Happy Black History Month.
Yeah, thank you. I wish I could have. I don't know. I don't know. Articulated better, expressed it better. But I was nervous because it was kind of weird. I don't always get to tell stories like that, and I was starting to get nervous about keeping people's attention and all this other stuff.
Right. No. You certainly had my attention, Kevin. Definitely. That I really think that was an important perspective, and that was really good on you for sharing that, man.
Oh, thank you.
So hopefully it's caught some other people's attention as well. But yeah, I can't thank you enough for sharing. It's always good to see you, man. I look forward to when we can get together again. You know, but yeah, man, I've been thinking about you. I'm up here in the mountains, man. You've been up here.
Yeah, see, that's what's funny. I was
special
gonna tell
place.
you when I first saw you there, I was like, where the hell is he? Then I took a second. Then when you said something about somewhere in the mountains, I was like, I know where he is. Right before you said that, I was like, I know that place. And stuff. That was really cool.
Yep, indeed. An undisclosed location here in the mountains.
Yeah.
And yeah, very special vibes. So hopefully we're sending some of those special good vibes out to everyone tonight.
Right on.
Through this place and through all these artists and everyone connected right now. So thank you for being part of it, Kevin.
Cheers.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'll catch up with you soon though. But hey, everybody out there, make a whole bunch of noise one more time for Kevin Evans, dude. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank
so
you.
Great to hear from you.
Yeah, you too, man.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yes, indeed. That was the great Kevin Evans from ASHEViLLE. And thank you for tuning in tonight, everyone. This is Poetry Open Mic ASHEViLLE. And as I said, it is open mic. So we welcome all people and all forms of artistic self-expression here on the mic. So, and wherever you are in the world now, you can join in on as long as you got a somewhat decent internet connection, or even on Kevin's bad internet connection, we were able to hear most of that. So hey, you know, join in. We got tech support here. We'll get you connected, and we'd love to hear from you. And we also have a lot more open micers tonight. But we do this every week, and we invite you to share. And we also invite you to tune in and watch. And we'd love to hear your comments. I know I've been seeing some comments there. We got comments from Zen Sutherland and some of the Hubers. I love the Hubers. And Rachel is out there. Big shout out to Rachel. We really appreciate your support, Rachel. And Robert Reverend Zachary, Chaplain Zachary there, I see. Big shout out to Zach. Man, we love Zachary. Great poet and just chaplain and all around dude here in ASHEViLLE. And a civil rights activist too, for sure. From back in the day. So big shout out to our friend there. Also shout out to Sovereign Kava, our sponsor. Tom Sheev and the gang over there. What's up, y'all? What's up? Throw 'em back. And yes, indeed. Anyone else joining in? There's some love from the bar. Love y'all down there. Very cool. All right. Well, I think we're gonna keep rock and rolling, cruising along here. Whatever y'all say. We have up next on the mic. Who do we have up? Ashley? Yeah, excellent. Good. I'm so glad. Ashley Huber is back in the house with us tonight. And it's so good to see Ashley in the house. Y'all gonna have to make a whole bunch of noise there. Give it up for Ashley.
Woo.
Hey, Ashley.
Hey.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Yeah, everyone was so blown away by your kid, Zen's piece last week. That was phenomenal. Yeah. So
I actually found poetry of mine from when I was her age.
Oh, no way. Cool.
Even stuff like when I was like 6 years old about my dear brother Jason, who has a stinky butt, but I love him still. It was great. It was. I
love it. Fun. Are you gonna share that with us?
No, I'm gonna save that. I'll save that for next time.
You're gonna spare Jason. Very nice. Well, cool. So, did you bring some of your current work tonight?
Yes, actually, I brought some things that I wrote today and a little while ago, and fun stuff. So, yep.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, I'm so stoked to hear it, and I'm gonna sit back by the fire and listen. So let's turn it over to Ashley. But everybody out there, give it up one more time for Ashley Huber.
Thank you. I'm going to start off with some horror haiku. Children are hungry. They are ready for dinner. Dinner will be us. Ankle deep. Ankle deep in woe is me. Clutter filthy with profanity. But there's no cleaning my insanity or vanity, whatever day it is for me. It's one-size-fits-all shackles, battles that I can't handle. So comfortable here, hoarding fear, sorting memories like jewelry accessories, putting them in boxes, never to be worn. Truthfully, this lunacy of cutting and shutting pieces of myself and shoving them on the shelf, afraid there will be a day it'll be too late. Put all of me away, left inside, crates and nothing else. And here I sit, not broken, for these hinges and parts haven't been spoken for. So I sit upon the floor. No worry about the dresses I wore, put on display at a fancy store, waiting to play. Would somebody be so worthy? But that is not for everyone. So I sit on a dirty floor, thirsty for something more, not just staring at the door, daring to stand and roar. Remembering, it's not dismembering if you've never been assembled before. Nothing to restore. Creation needs care, something to repair. Appreciation for presence, connection, a collection. My attention was moved to a section of floor. My eye caught an eye. Not alone, all these pieces wanting joy. Seemingly seamless, sewn together, we are the perfect toy. And then I've got one more. You ripped open her jaw to see the snakes scratched at walls, to see the direction the roaches crawl. Now you take the laughter and ashes and make dilate eyes of little girls. Wait till the night falls. Easier to keep peace, tucked in a bed asleep with an alarm to remind you to wash your hands clean. I exhale her breath, lady of burdens, violated by masses, through your curtains. Don't bleed out fertility, no. Weeping, beaten men screaming for dignity, fall tiny teardrops, spraying on fancy little dresses, pressed against fences, waiting for liberty. And that's what I have.
Fantastic, Ashley. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And I certainly hope you can make it back next time and share some more of that good poetry with us.
I enjoy it. So I enjoy listening and speaking, which I'm not doing very well right now, but thank you.
You're doing great. It's great. I love the whole cycle too. So anyway, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much, Ashley. Everyone give it up one more time. Fantastic. Great. Always good to have Ashley Huber in the house, the virtual house with us. So anyway, thank you. We're going to keep rocking and rolling here. I do want to let everyone know, if I didn't mention earlier, we do have another Poetry Cabaret show coming up on February 27th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll be 7 p.m. UK time. So anyway, join us for that show. It's going to be fantastic. 7. No, so we're 2. That's at 2. 2 p.m. Excuse me. Anyway, check poetrycabaret.com for more updates, and we'll keep you posted on that. Anyway, we're going to roll to our next performer. I think we got some more Hubers in the virtual house. Hubers in the house. I like that. Be a good side project. Cool. All right. Let's see. Wonderful. Who do we have next? Phil? Yes. Fluter Phil. Fluter Phil. Y'all gotta make a whole bunch of noise for Fluter Phil to flutter through. So y'all make that noise. Give it up. Phil.
Hey, Caleb, how you doing?
Hey, I'm so good. I'm doing open mic with all my favorite people. How
That's
are you
awesome.
doing?
I'm doing great.
Right?
Man. Yeah. It's good
so
to see
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
man.
good to see you.
All full of flutter butter. Yeah.
Yay! I love it.
I'll have to bring my flute sometime to this.
You really should. That would be so awesome.
Yeah, man.
I think that would work. I think flute would like cut through really nice on a live stream. We can try it for sure.
Yeah, man. We'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Cool. Well, did you bring some more of those wonderfully insightful, thoughtful, loving poems?
I
cosmic
have
poems,
cosmic poems, and lover dover poems, and all the things. So I got you, boo.
Yay! All thanks. Wonderful. Well, let's turn it over to Phil then.
All right,
y'all go ahead and make some noise one more time for Phil. Take it away.
Sweet. All right, so this is called Breathe. I stopped in the road, unsure of my next step. Your arms wrapped around me. I held my breath. You held my heart, tickled my ear with the sound of my secret name, lifted the veil obscuring my inner sight, revealed me to myself, and made me breathe again. And this is a process piece. Having a panic attack, as we do, brought on by stories past, present, and future that upset me. As the rabbit hole has deepened, I've noticed something. When I tie the physical panic to a specific thought, it deepens and races. I draw new thoughts in to replace the ones that are running out of steam, and the spiral continues deeper and deeper. As the panic grows to an intolerable pitch, I run out of stories just for a moment. I actually think, what else is there to freak out about? For this one moment, I decide not to give it a thought. I observe the form of the panic without attaching it to anything. It's quite a dance. Mindful breathing, paying attention to the long inhale through the nose, the pause, and the longer exhale through my mouth. Looking at the panic without judgment or an answer. Looking for that sweet spot between control and surrender. Riding this behemoth wave, cutting a line on the surface of the thought. Surrendered enough to accommodate the sheer power. Controlled enough to stay above the surface. And breathing. Always breathing. And blessed. Incredibly blessed. The wave crests, subsiding, foam on the shore. And breathing. Learning to surf, finding grace in my awkwardness. The waves come, the waves go, always have, always will. Some waves are stronger and closer together than others. Some are gentle and smooth. Some feel like they'll finish me. Some make me feel like an artist. Surf's up. What are you going to do? This one's called Amuse. Amuse me. Set my imagination afire with your graceful lines and subtle ways. Set my heart to music so loud I can't help but sing it out. Set my hands to fashion just a shadow of your glory. Set my mind to words dropped from angel lips. Set my soul to swell beyond these mortal bounds. Amuse me with the curve of your smile, the melody of your laugh, the depths of your eyes, the raw power of your sigh. Amuse me. You're talking about senses earlier, Caleb. This is called A Sense of You. Your scent on the air awakens my spirit from its self-imposed slumber and infuses my presence with clarity and purpose. The feel of your touch sings my body electric and soothes the me-child frightened in the storm. The sound of your laugh babbles me to a time I can't quite remember and a place I could never forget. The sight of you quickens my heart as I see in the simple, honest beauty of your eyes a reflection of the me I've always known in the depths of my heart and the expanse of my dreams. As I taste the sweetness of this truer path, the thought of you lightens my step and lingers easy on my mind. Mm-hmm. This one's called Fancy. It's one of my favorites. I fancy you, he said. What do you fancy about me? She asked with a slight turn of her head, narrowed eyes, and the hopeful beginnings of a smile. I fancy the sight of you across a sea of familiar faces. I fancy brief moments that last for hours. I fancy comfortable silences between excited words. I fancy the deftness of your nimble fingers tracing magic in the air. I fancy the wild toss of your raven hair. I fancy the warmth that must reside in the nape of your neck. I fancy the thought of getting to know your scent. I fancy being fluent in the secret language of your gasps and sighs. I fancy your languid pose and sleepy smile. I fancy you, he replied. And I'll finish up with this one. It's called Take Me. Take me to the river, take me to the sea. Take me as I am, take me as I be. Take me for a moment, take me for a while, take me for a song, take me for a smile. Take me as you found me, take me as I flow. Take me as you leave me, take me as I go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that'll do it. Although I got to ask you something, Caleb.
What's that? By the way, yeah.
I wanted to do a PSA.
Oh, yes.
Is that cool?
By all means.
So this is the Safer Sex Elevator Speech, and I learned this from Monique Darling, and she got it from Reed Mihalko, and they do workshops and such. And this is the Safer Sex Elevator Speech, and it's the conversation you have with somebody before you get physically intertwined. And there's 5 components to it.
As they say.
Mm-hmm. As we say, intertwined, baby. Would you like to intertwine? So the first part is, when were you last tested for STIs and what were the results? What kind of contact have you had with other folks since, and any other health considerations? The second is, what's your relationship status and your availability, relationship agreements? Are you available?
Right.
And number 3 is, what are your safer sex protocols? How do you use barriers? What are your protocols? All right.
Yeah.
Number 4 is, what is a type of touch you find unpleasant? Number 5 is, what is a type of touch you find pleasant? And this is the conversation you have with anyone before you engage in intimate contact. And as I say, go awkward early and avoid weird down the road.
Hey, well said. Well said. Very, very true.
There are some themes going tonight, so I really wanted to share that because, and you practice doing that, and it should be,
right.
Get more comfortable with it. So it's just like, yeah, this is where I'm at. This is what I bring to the table. This is how things are. So you don't have to figure it out down the road. You figure it out before you go down the road.
Right. And then it doesn't have to be awkward,
It could be as awkward as you want, just as long as you do it.
Yeah. Well, that's hey, awkwardness comes with the territory, right? But it's okay. Basically, I think is what I'm saying. Yeah, the awkwardness is okay.
Just go awkward early. This is what you got. Exactly. There it is.
Yeah.
So
no, that's very thorough and very, very important stuff to cover.
Oh, thank you so much. Yay.
Thank you for the PSA.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that relates to the theme as well. The senses,
Yes, the senses, and then the lovers, the whole 9 yards. Yeah,
I love it when we continue each other's metaphors too.
Oh, it's just thematic.
Yes, and the spontaneity and the themes that tend to kind of organically materialize throughout
good synchronicity. Good synchronicity.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Caleb. I so appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, Phil, I so appreciate you as well. Thank you for sharing the beautiful poetry. Really beautiful. and also for a very important PSA
There you
for our
go.
viewers out there.
Mhm.
Yes, very good, awesome.
All right.
Cool.
Love you, hon.
Love you too. We'll see you
All right.
next time, Phil. All right.
All right,
Y'all
thank
give it
you.
up for Phil.
All right, bye, y'all.
Yay. Yes. Fluter. Phil making us flutter. All right. That's what we got. Hey, thank you for the comments. We love seeing the comments there. Over there. Yeah. We love those. Yes. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Very good. Keep all those comments flowing through. We love to see the comments. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Very good. We love that. And I'll just mention again that our sponsor is Sovereign Kava, and our technical director tonight is Morgan Beissert, and our audience and our performers are you, and we'd love to see you and hear from you. So certainly keep it locked here. Keep it coming. We got a lot more great stuff coming at you tonight. I think we've got at least one more Huber in the house for us tonight. Hey, maybe we'll get even more Hubers in the future, you know. But I'm so happy with the amount of Hubers we have. So y'all, let's make some noise for Jason. We got Jason up next. That's right. Give it up for Jason. What's up, Jason?
I did
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Mic. All right, there we go.
Ah, much better. Cool. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing
Good,
well.
good.
How are you?
Very good. Very good.
You
I am
look
good.
cozy as fuck. I
Man,
gotta say.
AF. I am staying so cozy right now. It is nice. This is a much larger fireplace than I have at my place, and it's
Nice. That's nice.
It's really kicking. I might have to move back a little bit actually before the end of the night. Woo! But anyway, what's up with you? Are you what are they you're still you're teaching classes, you're
teaching classes, writing as much as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Have you been sending anything out? I hope so.
I've been sending out short stories to
Excellent.
places that are like well above where I should be sending. But
Hey, shoot high, man. Shoot high.
I'm stuck on this idea of I want to get something in print and I want to get paid for, submitting stories.
Yes.
So I'm going to keep going at that until it works out.
That's awesome. That is great. A friend of mine loves to say, you can be a famous poet and make literally hundreds of dollars.
Hundreds. Oh wow. Fingers crossed.
But maybe I think maybe the short story writers make a little more. So just a little. Hey. It's not why we do it, but we should absolutely get paid for your art because your art is valuable, and I know you put a lot of time into it. So.
Well, and just to have something in print, I dream of having a bookshelf, right, and a shelf just full of my own work. It's very egotistical. It's very self-centered, but I need that.
There is something about it though when you see a piece of your work published in a magazine or some kind of print, something you haven't printed out yourself. When someone else has taken the time to publish your work, I think there is there's some magic happening there. There's some alchemy or something. So, I don't think it's a selfish thing, and I think you should absolutely go for that.
Life goals. I'm on.
Yeah, totally, man. Cool. Well, you gonna read some of the stuff you're submitting tonight, or something new, or what you got for us?
I'm gonna try to read from a larger piece that I started a while ago. I'm in that stage where I'm working on two novels. And they're 80,000 words, and there's so many words. I'm still trying to figure them out, and there are gems in there, but I'm sifting through it and finding all the good bits. I'm going to try to read some of the good bits. I've been really fascinated with this idea of possession, ghosts or demons or what have you.
Oh, that kind of possession. Yeah,
by that
okay.
kind of possession.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
Well,
I got possession once, man. It was rough.
Every creative writing class I took coming up was like literary fiction. That's where it's got to be. And I love reading horror, right? And I think you can do horror as literary fiction, right? If you do it well.
Yeah.
So that's my attempt, or what I'm trying to do with these.
Hell yeah.
These pieces. So I've got possession from 2 different perspectives, and then I'm going to try and play a song, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Awesome. Jason's a great musician as well. So, very good. Well, Jason, let's hear it then. I'll turn it over to you. Y'all,
Awesome.
Y'all make some noise for Jason Hubert.
All right. Like I said, this is from a larger piece that I've been working on for a couple of years now. I got caught into NaNoWriMo by a friend of mine and have been doing it ever since. It's a blast. You try to write 50,000 words in the month of November, and it's challenging, but a lot of fun. And this was my first attempt at it. I'll read you a little bit from that. This is possession from Ellie's perspective. Oh God, not again. I woke up to the sound of ceramic shattering on the floor. I was immediately on my feet and opening the door to my room. Sarah was shuffling through the living room in her pajamas, knocking the plants and statues off my shelves. Her arms lumbered like a marionette, dragging her body across each shelf on the far wall across from my bedroom. Her back was to me as she continued her work. The wood panel on the floor was covered with dirt and shards. "Sarah!" I shouted. She continued methodically tearing through the shelves. "Sarah, stop!" It was no use. I hit the light switch and I could see the streaks of red and the dirt and debris. "You're hurting yourself." She finally turned to look at me. As she did, her feet indiscriminately crunched down on a piece of pottery and I saw more red running onto the floor. "Sweetie, stop. Come away from there." "Ellie," she said in a voice that sounded like it came from her stomach. Her eyes were open. There was a deep desperation in them. "Ellie," she repeated. This time my name came out like a bark, as though she were strained to say anything at all. "I need you to sit down. I'm going to call an ambulance, okay?" She started to drag her feet towards me, still barking out my name. The floor was becoming slick with her blood. She stared directly into my eyes as she moved, and I saw recognition there, but no fear, no pain. And there was a vulnerable need that took the words out of my mouth. I wanted to scream at her, to restrain her, but I only stood there, observing the longing, and I felt the room slipping away. I could only see the black of her pupils. They were dilated enough that the normal blue was a silver hue. The house disappeared and shrunk away. The air around me held in place. I was cushioned there, with a density around me that felt like treading water. Still, all I could see was a pair of eyes with immeasurable sadness. I was lonely and scared, and all of the things I knew not to be. All of my thoughts were taken from me, and I was left with this one hollow place across from her. The eyes gave way to a face. The face gave way to a figure. It didn't feel like Sarah standing there. I couldn't recognize what had taken her place. It was something familiar, but gone too long and too far away for me to recognize. And I wanted to know. She kept moving, and I could feel her drawing me into her. It wasn't me. It was taking the whole space into her. And I stood stock still as she slowly walked towards me, and I felt something wet at my feet. I took the scene in again. The room came rushing back to me as I realized that the pool of blood had reached me before she could. I looked down. She wasn't bothering to pick up her feet anymore. She was content to let them slide across the wooden floor. The shock of seeing her like that brought me back to my senses. She looked pale. Her voice was strained as she continued barking out my name. Her feet made a squeaking noise against the wooden floor as they dragged through the blood. She tried to reach out. Her arms lifted halfway from her body and then fell slack again. She slipped in the blood and fell to her knees. Her long legs splayed out under her as she continued to fall. "Sarah," I tried to move her into a seated position on the floor, but she vomited and fell forward. I sat there keeping pressure on the bleeding until the paramedics arrived. She's lost a lot of blood, her feet, you see. One of them shouldered me out of the way and took over stemming the blood. The world flew by, and I kept up as best as I could. The lights of the ambulance led to a hustle of an emergency room. I floated from place to place until I was finally able to land in a chair across from her, eyes growing heavy as I watched her chest rise and fall. And this is from Sarah's perspective. I had been dreaming for a while. I knew that. I didn't know much of anything else. Ellie and I were at the Dam Trail Lookout again. I knew we had been there for a while. Our outfits changed to mark the passage of time. What's the point? I asked her. I was trying to cope with a life outside of that place. I could only remember scenes. They were a mix of bloody mud and vomit. Why would I want to keep telling that story? Because it's a good story. She seemed so confident in her reply. No, I've ruined it, I responded. Nonsense. I sat and stared upwards. Ellie pointed at a constellation. That's Rigel, and that one's Betelgeuse. They're two of the brightest stars in the night sky, she said. That's Orion, right? Yes, it is. Very good, she said with a proud smile on her face. Orion was staring down at us as though he'd been a silent part of the conversation the whole time. I watched calmly as the massive figure took a clearer form. His muscular body climbed down from the sky. One of his feet landed on top of the city below. Blood made of stars spewed a Milky Way from his feet. It drew from him and found its way back into the sky. He placed his other foot down and blood spilled from there as well. He tried to walk towards us, but the matter that made him was draining, and he fell weakly to his knees, mouth opening and closing as if to say something, but I couldn't tell what. It felt like a confession. Or maybe he was proclaiming his undying love for the two of us. He tried to reach out and collapsed forward. The rest of the night sky came spewing from his mouth. Does that mean he's dying? I asked Ellie. It might, she responded. What can we do? I was worried. The constellation was an old friend. I remembered him looking over me when I was a little girl. I remembered looking up to him as a young woman. I remember a look of concern when I got my first boyfriend and a look of adoration as I graduated from high school. We can't let him die, I continued. What can you do? You can't let him die. She pointed behind me. I hadn't noticed it waiting there. The Milky Way of Orion's blood had given form to a massive scorpion made of stars. What are you gonna do? Ellie asked as we stared at the creature. It noticed our attention and crawled down to us. It was as large as the dam when it landed, and it reached a massive claw around me. Ellie! I screamed as it grabbed my torso and it lifted me into the air. What are you gonna do? She repeated, as though she were quizzing me. I didn't understand the lesson. Help! I don't want to die! The scorpion held me above her. She was close enough to grab me if she just stood up. Nonsense. Her voice got stern. Try again. At that, the scorpion moved. It climbed rapidly down the mountain towards the city. I was helpless to do anything as it held me there in its claw. When we got to Orion's slumped figure, he was still awake. Still breathing. What do I do? I yelled to Ellie. She didn't respond. She was watching me from the lookout as the scorpion reared its giant stinger back. No, stop! I didn't know what else to do. It shot the stinger forward, trying to find purchase in Orion's hand. It missed and drew back. It shot the stinger forward again, and I could feel the wind from it. It was the sound of a comet landing on Earth. It was the sound of a body hitting the floor as it slammed into Orion's wrist. I could feel the poison pulsing into him. It was the Milky Way. It was the stars returning themselves to him. I grew larger as the scorpion pushed its venom. Eventually, I was the size of him, and he was gone. The scorpion, sated, crawled back into the night sky and bled the rest of itself into the stars, and I was left, laying there on top of the city. Ellie was watching from the stone bench on the lookout. After a long time, staring staring into the sky. I was finally ready to get back. I closed my eyes tight, opened them as hard as I could. My eyelids were heavy. The light was painful as my eyes adjusted. I raised my arms to shield myself and saw the dangling sleeve of a hospital gown. I felt weak. My only solitude was seeing Ellie in the corner, asleep in a chair, her head slumped forward. Let's see how this song goes. This is my recomposition of a Regina Spektor song. Ah! Oh, golly. That's not the start of the song. Here we go. You are my sweetest downfall. I loved you first, beneath the sheets of paper hides my truth. I have to go. Your hair was long when we first met, and Samson went back to bed, not much hair left on his head. Ate a slice of Wonder Bread and went right back to bed. History books forgot about us. Bible didn't mention us. The Bible didn't mention us, not even once. You are my sweetest downfall. I loved you first. Beneath the stars keep falling on our heads. They're just a line. Your hair was long when we first met. And Samson came to my bed, told me that my hair was red, told me I was beautiful, and came into my bed. I cut his hair myself one night, pair of dull scissors in the yellow light. He told me I had done all right, kissed me till the morning light. Samson went back to bed, not much hair left on his head. Ate a slice of Wonder Bread and went right back to bed. We couldn't bring those columns down, couldn't destroy a single one. The history books forgot about us, Bible didn't mention us. You are my sweetest downfall. I loved you first. And that's it. Thank you guys.
Oh yeah. Wow. Jason, that was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Did I blow up the mic, or how was
the song? That was actually on our end. That was crystal clear. It sounded surprisingly good. For being over live stream, without any special equipment or anything. I think that's part of why the in-person open mic. It's always been poetry open mic, but we have this great mix of art, and in the virtual edition, it's kind of tended more to the poetry side. I think because it's so much easier to broadcast the spoken word from any old device, whereas usually to get music to sound really good, you have to have an interface and good mics and stuff like that, like we have here. But the other good thing is that the technology is always being improved upon. This is software all on remote servers, and they're always working on it, and I think that sounded really fantastic tonight.
Awesome.
Surprisingly good. And we have a little bit of control. We get to mix the levels and the echo cancellation and stuff a little bit on our end too. So we kind of once we dialed that in, that was just sounding fantastic. So yeah, hopefully more music in the future. And
awesome.
And the stories as well. I really love that bit about projecting or the Orion thing, like jumping up to Orion. That was a trip, man. Yeah.
BT Dub, I forgot to mention, I'm drinking a Kava mojito from
nice.
Kava, my favorite drink.
Yay! Cheers to Sovereign Kava. Very good. That's right. And keep in mind, you got a free double shot of Kava waiting on you over there, and everyone who performed tonight as a thank you from us to our fine performers. And yes, indeed. So thanks for the Sovereign Kava plug, and we'll keep this going. Jason, I hope you can make it back and read some more stories and some more poetry and some more music and all that stuff. We love it, man. Cool. All right. Well, everybody give it up one more time for Jason Huber. We'll see you next time, buddy.
Bye. Thank you.
Much love. Yes. Jason Huber, y'all. And you're tuned into Poetry Open Mic Asheville. It's so good to be with you tonight. I am your host, Caleb Beissert. I'm joining you from a remote place in the mountains of North Carolina this evening to wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in. Keep it locked here. Keep the comments coming. We love to hear from you, and we appreciate the comments, so keep those rolling as well. I think we have some more wonderful performers coming at you. Up next, we have Emilio Maldonado, and then Tom Sheave, and Zen Sutherland, and Ease Dog is coming through tonight, and I think we lost Justin, unfortunately. Hopefully next time. But that means there is a space or two left. So if anyone else wants to join in tonight, we'll post that StreamYard link, and you can hop on there, enter your name, enter the broadcast studio, and we'll get you on here as soon as the spot opens up. But yes, keep it locked, because we got Emilio flying in right now from Chicago, Illinois, USA. Let's see if we can get him connected. Y'all are gonna have to make a lot of noise for them to hear you over in Chicago. Give it up, make some noise. What's up, E?
What up, though? How you doing?
Chillin', man. What are you up to, man?
I am down and out getting a sleep study.
Nice. Do I have to be quiet in there?
Well, I mean, I got you in headphones, so it doesn't matter. You'll be loud as you need
I'm
to.
just kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Okay, that's good, man. It's good to get your sleep figured out, man. You know,
Shit,
I know that it's so sleeping right is like essential to life. You know, it's living right. So
yeah.
So that's good on you, man. I hope it goes well, man. I know
this is how I've been waking up most of the damn time.
Oh. Wow. It's a great photo,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
You too. If you're sleep deprived, it's possible for you as well.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. I
Oh,
probably
man.
should get that checked out or something, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time
Sleep
coming.
apnea runs in my family.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna see if I got it or not.
Yeah.
You know, so kind of like I'm glad to just finally have this sort of like discovery of it, you know, one way or the other.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, once you know, at least you know there are things you can do about it. So
check it out. This is the other day. That's in front of my parents' place.
Oh wow! Oh man, y'all got it good, huh?
Yeah, that was on Monday night.
Nice.
And actually it still snowed a whole other like almost foot.
That's pretty good, man. You make a snowman, bro?
I did not make a snowman. I am a snowman.
Hell yeah.
Bro,
that's what's up. I mean, you're probably like used to it in Chicago. I mean, y'all do.
Not this kind of snow. This is
that's right.
This is some Denver, Colorado snow. This is some mountains.
That's what's up.
Yeah. This
people out snowboarding in the streets of Chicago.
There were.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah. They drew some ropes and right behind a car and just did it.
Nice.
Yeah, there was like a video posted of two people doing it behind a car.
God damn it! I love Chicago.
Yeah, one of the things that was like really common when we were kids, we called it sketching, and you just, you know, back when you'd have the older cars that had like the steel bumpers, so they would be like, you know, bolted on, so there was like a little bit of room that you could grab onto the back, and you just you just crouch down and grab on, and just let the car pull you down like side streets and stuff. You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, when it snowed, I mean,
it's sketchy as hell.
It was tough. Yeah. Hey, so is this
totally you know?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I actually Asheville is really cool when it snows, as you can imagine. You know, it's like because we don't get like snow all the time either. So if we get a good snow here, it's like a party in the streets. You know, everyone's out drinking in the streets and sledding, and they have these epic snowball fights like downtown. Like all the different bars will like fight each other. They'll get all their people together and have these like really truly epic snowball fights. You know, there'll be people like, you know, up on rooftops, like pelting people with snowballs, and people, you know, it'll be the punks versus the hippies, or the, you know, it's all in good fun. It's yeah. But that's cool, man. So very good. So you're joining us from the Sleep Study Center tonight.
Yeah. I'm at Cook County Hospital right now.
Wow, Cook County Hospital, man. Nice. In the house.
Yeah.
In the house. Well, shout out to our essential workers over there at Cook County Hospital, man.
Oh yeah.
Y'all are doing the real work for sure.
Yeah.
Big shout out.
Big ups to the people that, you know, taking care of other people and keeping them alive, getting them healthy, getting them back to their families. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. I got a bunch of friends that are nurses.
Yep.
You know, family that are doctors back in Mexico, and just, you know, it's a big deal. And then just all the other caregivers and all that too. But yeah, here at the hospital, it's a huge place, man. This is the county hospital. So this is like, this is a place where, you know, the
big county.
Immigrants without, you know, insurance, indigent, regular folks, you know, this is a big building, a lot of people, a lot of doctors, a lot of, you know, the county hospital this is like a newer building, but basically this is the whenever like films or movies like set in Chicago, they would riff off of like the ER in the Cook County Hospital, you know.
Oh yeah.
Unless frequently
famous hospital.
The movie I remember that was like actually took place partially in here was the Harrison Ford movie The Fugitive.
So
he was technically a doctor in this hospital. Although they didn't count it county, they gave it whatever name, like
Right.
Chicago General, But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah. Very cool, man.
yeah.
Yep. Essential work being done there, though, for
Yeah,
real. So are you gonna shout some poems for us tonight from the hospital?
I will not be shouting some poems.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah. I will, especially considering I'm in the sleep study.
They're gonna start rushing in there, like, "Oh my God, Code Blue!" he's spazzing out.
Yeah, right. It's like you're gonna see a bunch of guys with like masks and gowns. It's like, you know what? This motherfucker's going to the other wing.
Yeah. Tom Sheeves says, "Shout out to the medical workers."
The first responders, and mostly to the soft-handed, well-rested ladlers at the KB. Heroes all.
That's right. Heroes. Something like that.
Hey, after I'm done,
Yeah.
I'd like to hear a little bit of where the hell you are.
Oh yeah. Totally.
So
I can tell you that after I'm done.
all right, I gotta read that because I'm gonna have to get hooked up to some electrodes soon.
Yeah. That's why we're trying to get you on tonight to read a little bit for us, and then we got some other performers up after you. So yeah, let's make sure we got some time for that and turn it over to Emilio, joining us from the sleep study ward at Cook County Hospital tonight. About to hit y'all. All right.
There's the electrodes.
Shout, poet.
Electrodes. Yeah, I was totally hoping I was going to be able to do this like hooked up to like all the electrodes and like the EKG, but alas, the theatrical reading will have to be a different one. All right, here we go. One day, if I ever merit it, quiero homenajes en los palacios de bellas artes que me merecen. El Weeds, que en paz descanse. La hermosa basement del Calles y Sueños, también en paz descanse. El Green Mill, Naima's, el Trébol. Y un noisy, overly distorted mic at a DIY show in a piss in the hallway. Estos pastos verdes, places que tienen una rocola y buenas vibras. Ojalá I'll deserve it before I gotta get carried in como una de mis madres, la Frida. I'd like to walk in on my own, naturally. Nothing like an all-nighter doing homework and tucking family in to turn on nervy body responses. See a snapshot of Christmas future. Feelings are distant and confusing. Yearn, dare, lust. How to punch out the motherfucker in the mirror. Forget how to sleep. Yet night began and the day ends it. Stars burn and spin and bend reality. Mock reality. Night is ending and fluid. I hear engines firing. Hallucinations, and the shakes are back. All right, this is the last one. My first ashtray. Burlesque begin the beguine. Big, full lips, marking my neck, my face, my shirt, my neck, yours. Oh my. You gotta go. I mean home. To your bed. real soon. Call me. Icebergs and ghosts, purple jumpsuits, big heavy titties. What am I thinking? What the fuck took you so long? Breathed, sighed, and dreamed of self-dignity, this booming thought. Oh, wow. This is the crazy I want. I miss. I was. She's beautiful. She's a disaster. She can see right through my bullshit. She's so fucking dirty. She has tiny lips. I want. She is not happy being unhappy. She's drinking her way to anger, numbness, and dice rolling. A human Bermuda Triangle. Icebergs. Ghosts. Actually, I got one little segment. I got one little tiny one. The lingering ghost sweat of others in the room. Now and then, the promise of future moans. Lavender leather and pain's sweet, distinct aroma. Sweat, breath, and anticipation humidifies this room. There's a suspension of disbelief. Fucking Depeche Mode threatens to outdecibel the shouts of desires. I can smell this ass. A photo as rebuke, as challenge, as portal. A photo as is. All right.
Very good stuff, man.
I had to
Badass.
Thank you. I had to do a little editing right there on the fly because I was like watching the clock. I'm like, oh man, I don't want someone to like knock.
Oh, I know. I kept waiting for the nurse to walk in.
I'm still. I totally feel like this is the most like I've been worried about a door knock since I was like a teenager.
So those of you who just tuned in, like Emilio's joining us from the hospital, and everything. He's all right. But he's joining us from the hospital in Chicago. Just like timidly reading his poems and powerfully, but like quietly reading his poems into a phone or something. Waiting on the nurses to come back.
Timidly, man. I thought I was still giving it. I thought I was still giving it though, man.
Oh no, you were no. That wasn't the right word. You were giving it. But that was definitely the quietest I've ever heard you give it.
Yeah. Oh man.
Good stuff, man. Well, yeah. Thank you.
You say that not for nothing. I've been reading a lot quieter, more frequently because of this.
Right.
This medium, actually.
Yeah. It is a different medium. It's like it's like when you're in a bar, you can at least get some of the energy and power from volume sometimes,
Yeah.
But here you have to rely on other things to to convey that intensity,
Yeah, I mean, it's I was able to learn it. I think we talked about this once, that I learned it to sometimes drown out like. Or to compete, to not compete with loud patrons, but sometimes if I got quieter,
doing it, yeah,
So I learned how to like get comfortable in doing that, and sometimes just especially after like a big old like boom, 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 it's nice to hear that kind of like a little sort of whisper in a reading, but yeah, like overall, beginning to end, beginning to end, I don't read like this kind of sort of conversational and quiet. I don't want to. I don't feel it. But
Right.
now I feel it. I'm just curious, like how it's going to translate and look like afterwards. So.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Thank
it
you very
sounded
much
good
for
over
letting me
here,
come up here,
man.
man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for stopping through tonight,
Yeah,
and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'll catch up with you here in a little bit, man.
All right.
And yeah, thank you so much,
I
Emilio.
will be tuning in though. I can still watch, but I won't be talking. All right. Big ups
Awesome.
to Morgan. Tell him thank you.
Absolutely.
You guys have a good rest of your show.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
See you, man. Sleep well. Yes, indeed. That's Emilio Maldonado, y'all. Joining us from Cook County Hospital in Chicago tonight. And my name is Caleb Beissert, your host. I'm joining you from the mountains of North Carolina, Western North Carolina. And we are happy to be with you tonight, bringing you poetry and art, love, and music. We're bringing it to you. So keep it locked here. We got some more great performers coming at you tonight. Stick around. Let's see. Up next on the mic, so we have Tom. We have Tom Sheev connected. Oh, Sheevski. Where you at, Sheev? Can we get Sheev on here?
Hey.
Hey, what's up, Tom?
It's good to be here.
How is it to be here?
Thank you.
Oh, good.
It's been a hot minute. I just talked to my
nice. You what?
I just talked to my buddy, and he's in Savannah right now. He went down to Savannah, down to the harbor, and he was supposed to pick up something there on the docks, I guess. Package, and I don't know if he was totally supposed to be getting or what. Or anyone was supposed to be getting, but he was coming in, and so he was down there on behalf of someone else to pick up this shipment, and so it got delayed for a long time. He's been down there for like 2 weeks, losing his mind, and the ship is not coming in. He's the man at the harbor, and that ship ain't coming in. He said, he said the other day, I tipped the hotel maid an entire bag of cocaine to leave me alone. Quit knocking on the door in the morning. Don't quit knocking. So he gave her a bag of cocaine to leave him alone.
Yeah, what'd you expect?
And he said it didn't work. He said
she's coming by even more now. Right?
Knock at the end. The maid at the Red Roof Inn there at Savannah at the harbor, that she quit her job and she moved in with the room with him. He goes, man. The room. He goes, now the room's a mess. He goes, and we're out of cocaine. Oh my God. And he goes, man, something in the air just got me craving my gear. So he went and he bought something to shoot himself up with from a Gulf War vet that very recently he's been running around with. And so now him and the job, I guess, are both on the nod. And he goes, man, I never shoot up on a job, but the job called in sick. I was like, damn, dude, you're the man at the harbor. Yeah, old ship ain't coming in, man. So he's the man at the harbor whose connection got cut. What happens is there's this corrupt customs agent down on the docks on the other side of the world in Mogadishu, and he paid some dudes 10 kilos a cot and gave him like 2 grappling hook ropes, probably, and grappling rope things.
Yeah, those things.
Grappling hooks.
Yeah.
And an AK-47 and a couple speedboats. And that kilo has a got, which is like stuff that grows on, it's like leaves of a tree, and it gets them all amped up and high. And that's all they got to go take over and be pirates and take over a cargo ship off the coast there of Somalia, because the ships have to go up and down the coast, and so they'll just knock them out, board the ship, and the crew's not trying to get into a gunfight, and then they'll just go in there and go into the hold or the secure area and find wherever they can find, steal it, and take it on the other back to the other ships, or sink that ship, or ransom it, or do whatever. So my buddy said, he goes, man, the guy, his hookup down there, he got a radio. And apparently what happened is these dudes, they got their speedboats and their gun and their grappling hook ropes, and for the job, it was a lot. It was all they needed. It was more than enough to take over this creaky ass ship that my friend's shipment was coming in on, and so he was waiting on something that was packed inside another cargo or another container unit. And so the pirates got on the ship and lightened her load, and got the stuff that I guess was coming to my buddy. And apparently it was worth a lot. It was worth a lot, he said. So he's like, man, I think the ship's not coming in. And so after those dudes took over, got that shipment, clipped that little shipment, they found a bar where bars always are. They serve 2 types, the flush and the busted, and there's 3 happy hours. There's quitting time, there's hitting time, and there's forgetting time, in any order you want. So they went there, and the boat's underwater, and those dudes are slowly sinking, and whatever they're drinking in celebration after you get a huge score off the Somali coast. So things are good for them, but for my friend who was supposed to receive this shipment in Savannah, the harbor there, ship ain't coming in. And so he's been stuck there, and he's been going between the hotel room and some sketchy crash pad. And he said, he goes, man, everyone in this town, it gets a government check. He said they go down to the dollar store and trade stamps for cigarettes. And he goes, man, everyone here, their best friend has got a bad back. He goes, what? He goes, he got a bad back. He goes, they're crooked. He goes, they ain't worth a damn.
Bad back.
They ain't worth a damn. All right, man. He goes, but they got a good script. I'm like, ugh. Even the seagulls hate that sad-ass place. So toward the middle of that crack house he's staying in, when he's not in his hotel room, he's been passing the time by clinging to a hot stem in his attempts not to sink in. And he goes, man, dude, I'm down on my last dollar, man. He goes, man, I just put $1 in. He goes, homegirl just went to get a 10, and I put $1 on it. He had $1. He had $1 on 1/10 of a 10.
Oh, man.
He goes, that's my last dollar, man. He goes, man, it's been 5 hours. He goes, I don't think she's coming back. Hello, man. I don't think the ship's coming in, buddy. I don't think the ship's coming in. He goes, anyway, you're gonna come stay with you. I was like, no, hell no. Oh, no way. Oh no, man. Kill me. I just want to tell you about that.
Let's stay with you.
Right.
Well, shit, maybe I can stay with you.
All right, take care of you. Thank you. All right.
Shit. Okay, maybe some other time then, but well, anyway, give it up for Tom Sheave. That was Tom Sheave, y'all. Thank you. Tom Sheave, the Sheevski, everyone. Tom Sheave. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. That story. Thank you so much. All right. Well, yes. Asheville's own, the amazing comedian Tom Sheave. Y'all give it up one more time. Thank you so much, Tom. Yeah. Very good. He's back, baby. Anyway. Cool. Tom, I hope you can make it back by open mic sometime. It was great to see you. And just want to remind all our friends out there to stop by Sovereign Kava, put on a mask, and go drink some kava. And it's really great through a mask. But seriously, y'all, you got a 2-for-1. Well, you got a double shot waiting on you if you go down the kava bar. If you've never had kava before, go by. We do a 2-for-1 special for first timers. You can try kava, and then you can say you've tried it, and be truthful. So yeah, y'all keep it locked here. This is Poetry Open Mic Asheville. My name's Caleb Beissert. It's such a pleasure to be your host this Wednesday evening and every Wednesday evening here. And we have some more performers coming at you tonight, so I hope everyone can stick around. Let's see. We have some amazing performers up next on the mic. I think we have we got Zen in the house with us, the virtual house. And, Zen knows a lot about virtual houses. So let's see if we can get the expert, the mastermind, Zen Sutherland, connected through the virtual realms here. So I think you have to make some noise for us to do that. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Give it up for Zen Sutherland. Hey, what's up, Zen? Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you too. And yeah, I know a lot about the virtual world. I've been working with NFTs and the crypto world, making money playing games.
Right. Yeah.
And all of the bullshit that goes along with it.
Yes, and the bullshit. Yeah. Indeed. That's fantastic. Yeah. Zen can reprogram just about anything to speak poetry.
Yes.
Haiku, at least. Yeah.
I've got boxes and ray guns that can speak poetry, if you want to call it poetry. It's pretty random.
Well,
I love your space, man.
Completely random.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It's great. It's just so fucking relaxing looking. I mean, why don't we all just show up there and bring wine and bring different, whatever. Sounds like the deal.
I think once the whole pandemic situation gets better, we should actually do that. We should have a big old party at open mic one night somewhere in the mountains. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad it feels good, man. It feels good up here. I am grateful and thankful, and I'm glad that some of the warmth and the
love,
loving intent, is conveyed.
It is. It absolutely is. It looks like you're just ensconced in warmth and sweetness.
Well, thank you. Well, I have to say, I always love the look of your shop. It looks like you're just tinkering away, reprogramming these ray guns like
mad scientistville. Yeah. Helen made me cut my hair because I was looking a little too much like Einstein.
Oh, well, hey, that's all right. It's looking sharp. It's looking good. So You know?
I don't care. She's the
Good
one who
on
has
her.
to look at it.
Yeah, right.
I
That
don't.
makes sense. Right.
I mean, you shave and then that's pretty much it for as far as looking at myself.
These days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear ya.
So,
or don't shave.
or don't, or trim, or scape.
Whatever you do.
Yeah.
Scape. Yeah. Well, so I understand you have a story for us tonight.
Yeah,
Is that right?
I'm not a story writer, and I really want to learn the short story form. And like Jason was saying about trying to find these little gems and piecing them together, and unlike Jason's story, mine nothing happens. so we go from Crazyville and ghosts and scorpions to just kind of being. So we'll try it out.
All right. Well, I am stoked to hear the Crazyville and the being. So
well, it's crazy too. All right. That sounds great.
We'll turn it over to you, Zen. Thank you so much. Everybody out there, give it up one more time for Zen.
First of all, thank you so much for at least giving a listen to a rambling. It's a short story called Johnny Donut Seed. And so nothing happens. But anyway, Johnny Donut Seed. Johnny Donut Seed towers at least 20 feet tall, made of fiberglass. He's the only thing in the grass divider between State Road 59 and an aging Florida truck stop near the town of Lloyd. Throwback from when the Big Bend hotel, motel, snack bar, gas station, and restaurant was prosperous. Johnny sports blue jeans torn and ragged at the calf and a rough yellow shirt with sleeves rolled up. He holds a cup of coffee in one hand and an obscenely large donut in the other, presenting it as if one might offer a brain. He shoulders some kind of odd mail pouch, a square leather-looking knapsack that I've decided is where he packs his donut seeds. His expression rivals the dour and frozen look of Easter Island statues with a country bumpkin flair. Johnny Donut Seed has aged poorly over the 25 years in the humid Florida sun, his face somehow trapped in mid-expression of a panting smile. Jennifer and I are driving from Interstate 10 from Tallahassee to get to our first glimpse of Johnny Donut Seed, but our overt purpose is meeting up with Jay. Jay is a truck driver and Jennifer's ex-lover. I'm her current one, and I casually believe that I'm deeply in love with her and hope to marry her. She's driving, and I'm fighting an afternoon nap by focusing the car's air conditioning vents on my face while I smoke Marble Lights. I'm wearing shorts, sandals, and a t-shirt, and for a moment feel gawkish like a tourist, but this passes. Interstate 10 stretches out the soft, rolling panhandle country, forcing its way through green and scrubby landscape with nearly always something in bloom. The conversation between Jennifer and I has been sparse because we both need sleep and we both hold some strange anxiousness for this meeting with Jay, each for our own reserved reasons. Jennifer drives firmly, the short, soft hair under her hat wagging in the car's artificial AC breeze as her small dark sunglasses hides her intense blue eyes. She looks beautiful to me, from her dark hat to her little turned down socks beneath tennis shoes, but I'm cautiously not going to tell her because I fear repetition will sound insincere, embarrassing her. I'm also less sure of what it means to be in love anymore, so I keep my appreciation of her to myself. By the time Jennifer points the car down Route 59, she remarks that Lloyd wasn't that far away, really, more to convince herself. Parked in the service road behind Johnny Donut Seed, a large tankard truck issued a small framed man wearing a dark t-shirt, tight jeans, small sunglasses, and leather Harley-Davidson boots from the cab. The familiar angularity of Jay and his dog Scout. Jennifer parks between Jay's truck and the back of Johnny Donut Seed. I'm greeted by the dog while Jennifer and Jay hug warmly, yet stiffly. The dog's husky-like coat seems inappropriate for the humid summer, but neither does he look uncomfortable. I shake hands with Jay and we stand, two tall men and a small woman, in the short leg of a triangle, while the Florida sky rains sticky heat down on us, evaporating any lingering bit of energy. Was about to leave. Didn't think you'd be here. Jay's warm half smile, half smirk leaps out at you, and it's naturally infectious. Yet it's hard to read, as always. Jennifer explains our theoretical tardiness and is smiling somewhat, as I suppose I am smiling somewhat also. It's good to see Jay, even more impressive to see him in the work environment rather than the parties we've shared. Jay shows us fresh scars on his arm. Jay could talk about slipping and falling out of the cab of an 18-wheeler without making it sound like he's a buffoon. Simple fact, he fell hard, scraped his forearm here where the sharp edges of the metal are designed for stable footing. He describes his ordeal of blood-stained sink and running red water without much positioning for anybody's pity. How some lady at the weigh station told him to get it looked at. Jay's scoffing expression is one of male bravado tinged with a fatalistic shrug. The conversation lulls, so I mention something about the dog wandering over towards the legs of Johnny Donut Seed. The three of us still talking, probably about the dog, mosey in that direction, each feeling the need to keep chattering lest a momentary lull blossom into ugly silence. I regard the tall, hollow being of Johnny Donut Seed. From a distance, he seems poised and beckoning, but up close, he's pitiful. Unpainted fiberglass patches cover decrepit sections of his legs, and his elbow reveals a hole where wrens now nest. From below, it seems as if you could fit a man's leg between his pursed lips. His eyes seemed glassy. It was then and there that I had named him Johnny Donut Seed. There's a New England Minuteman purpose about him, but he held with the trivial accoutrements of a morning's rushed breakfast. He looked sternly towards a goal, perhaps to supply the masses with coffee, but dressed to travel the swamps and rugged land to provide breakfast, planting little donut seeds from his bag in every farm and field. I slap his hollow leg with an open palm and it gives a dull clump. The dog remains unimpressed, relaxing in Johnny's shadow. With an unconscious drive, but more because there's little else to do, we decide to go into the restaurant. Jay has eaten a big breakfast already, and the humid heat of midday has sucked the hunger out of Jennifer and I, but it's probably cooler and we can sit, so we cross the dusky parking lot. The restaurant, gas station, knick-knack, and convenience store speaks of truckers and the country, that plain and varnished pine hint of Americana that is not yet embraced as the American peasant. We picture Russian or German peasants with their colorful dress, with simple, straightforward talk and overweight ways, in a much kinder light than we do our own American peasants, listening to country music, darkened and leathery, from toiling under unflinching suns, working hard and drinking just as hard. But happily, none of the three of us feels truly out of place here. Jay is most comfortable and selects a booth seat with his back to a corner wall. I sit at the booth next to Jennifer, both of us facing nothing but Jay. Jay, who is who we've come to see, after all. Yet the image of Johnny Donut Seed pulls at me. Booths with phones line the perimeter of the dining area to provide truckers a place to get many things done at once: eat, update their logs, check in with the home office, call a loved one, and in Jay's case, to log on to an online service and chat on the net. Although his account has been recently canceled, and he relates the story of how AOL can go fuck themselves because they canceled his account for simply entering a private hack room. I find myself at a loss because I'm hesitant to put my arms around my girl. It's not that I don't want to, it's more that Jennifer hasn't told Jay we're seriously dating, though we all suspect he knows to the extent which Jennifer and I are romantically connected. I'm following Jennifer's lead out of deference to making this the least uncomfortable for everyone, but my arm burns with a want to hold her, though our hips are almost touching. Jennifer and I rest our forearms on the table. Jay's arms are spread wide across the booth's wooden back. The waitress, an older woman who probably represents the romantic notion of that American peasant just as much as anyone else, asks us if we want anything, and we manage to scrounge up the desire for some fries and caffeinated drinks all around. Her tag says Shirley. And as she turns to leave, I say, Shirley, that statue man out there, Johnny Donut Seed, I motion with my chin. What's his real name? Her eyes dart outside for the briefest moment as she shrugs. It was there before I started working here. I don't know a thing about it. Walking away from us, her backside offers, ask one of the older people here, they might know. For a moment, I'm crushed. She looked like the oldest and most perfect candidate for that small bit of information. I mentally picture some tattooed former Navy cook in the back slinging hash browns with a large black grill, which is constantly being scraped by thin chrome spatula, whose daddy built the 20-foot man and who can only remember that his father always referred to the statue as Nathan or something like that. In a way, I'm avoiding the more volatile situation with the three of us, while I'm relieved to find that Jennifer didn't fling herself into Jay's arms. He didn't spin her around with the pure joy of seeing someone he missed and still loves terribly. Neither was the situation clear and resolved. I don't sense Jay feeling like I'm moving in on his territory, as men are too often behave. But again, Jay seems held back, more reserved even for Jay. Jennifer nervously tilts her head side to side slowly as she's waiting for Jay to be Jay, and for the three of us to be the wonderful friends we'd all started to become. But it isn't unfolding that way. In fact, it isn't unfolding at all. There seems to be some kind of stalemate in the air, as if we all hold each other in mutual check, but not mate. A Mexican standoff of loaded silence. The subject of Jennifer's dog, Pandora, comes up, and Jay makes a joke about dachshunds being Japanese cars. I remarked that they're now called Nissans, which is a kind of light bantering that continues with unremarkable pleasantries and small jokes so we can avoid hearing our own heartbeats. In a way, I'm annoyed that Jennifer hasn't made Jay overtly aware that I'm her man now. I long to state the obvious and get the possible hurts out of the way, but lately I have been more cautious about hurting people and a bit more distrustful of being lied to. I remind myself that I've hurt someone close to me recently and that it may not be the best thing to plunge into situations, but to allow them to unfold. I've given myself a new wait-and-see attitude. Jay and Jennifer carry emotional baggage that remains hidden to me, as do I about Deborah, the person I hurt, that is unseen by them. But Johnny Donut Seed has seen it all and more. Past the racks of candy bars, I can see him stoically peering away from us towards the eastern horizon. When she delivers our order, I kid Shirley that she doesn't even know the man whose butt she's forced to view all day. She makes a small joke, which I forget. Then the three of us joke about having to look at the crack of people's asses as they lean over in loose jeans. Still, that doesn't break the ice either. But Jennifer, who is always prone to tucking her legs in when she sits, drapes her leg over mine and places her hand on my knee. I can tell if she's feeling more comfortable, or I can't tell whether she's feeling more comfortable or just misses touching me as much as I want to hold her. And this is acceptable because it's almost but not quite out of Jay's line of sight. We eat, we smile, we get our nothing words in, and pretty soon the French fries are just a pale plate of smeared ketchup. At the moment, I sense that I haven't given Jennifer and Jay any time alone without me. Perhaps one of the other needs to quickly give the other their assessment of their situation, or of me, or of harbored love lost feelings. I politely excuse myself to go to the truck stop bathroom. I take my time and on my way back position myself to talk to the woman who takes and gives orders to truckers through the microphone behind the glass about what pump they got their diesel from and whether they want a receipt. Finally, my presence forces her attention away from counting bills and she regards me. That Johnny Donut seat out there, I ask, now more confident of my name for him. What's his name? She squints. She tightens her lips as she regards the statue. I don't know. Lloyd? She smirks. I scowl. I doubt he represents the founding father of the small, unvisited town of Lloyd, and my face must have clouded up over it. I also see her cleverness. When pressed, she came up with a name, despite her ambivalence about the truth. I've never thought about it, she mumbles as she returns to her work. She doesn't care to give it much more of her immediate thought. As I return to the booth, it's apparent that time is up, and we all amble towards the front, listlessly by aisles of tire repair kits, CB accessories, Chinese-made folding knives, and American tchotchkes. It's as if nothing was resolved. We pay and we open the doors back into the pit of summer's fiery kiln. As we walk across that breezeless, dusty parking lot and towards the fiberglass icon, it seems to me as if each of us have a kinship with Johnny Donut Seed. We know the lonely solitude of him. We share with Johnny Donut Seed the position of being unable to really say what's on our minds. We each have a history that only we know, that is unknown to the locals and travelers that pass by, and perhaps only known by someone connected to us far away. We all, Jay and Jennifer and Deborah and Shirley and the truckers and the woman behind the glass, all share a certain ambivalence about the larger truth because we have to focus on the little truths we only have time to see. We write our personal histories in dust motes that we create with our tentative movements towards truth, which is never quite revealed. Each in our own way seems to be as ridiculous and as at loose ends as a man who delivers coffee throughout the panhandle of Florida with a bag full of donut seeds to plant as he goes. But nobody's Johnny Donut Seed. He's a singularity that has long been forgotten, except by 3 people and a dog who has stood in his shadow. Thank you so much for listening.
Wow. Zen, fantastic. Wow.
I know it was
Johnny
a little
Donut
long.
Seed. No,
Yeah,
that was cool. Yeah.
And the mention of it,
Zen asked if he could go a little over on that one, so it's cool. We like to
sorry about
accommodate,
that.
you know.
Yeah.
No. Thank you. It's cool. You asked, so thank you. Yeah, yeah. It's people who don't ask and then go over, you know. But
Yeah,
whatever.
right, right.
10 minutes. No, you're great, Zen. I was thoroughly enthralled by that, you know.
Oh, good.
And so
well,
I have no idea even how long that was because I was hanging on every word. So
thanks.
Good stuff.
Just like we are with your poetry, Caleb. Man, I'm telling you, you get better and better. Oh, seriously.
Well,
I mean,
thank you. That's good. If I weren't getting better, then you know, what the hell have I been working on then?
True.
But
It's
no, that means a lot. Thank you.
It's all practice for the last poem.
Right? Yeah, well said. Yeah.
All right. Love you very much, Caleb, and Morgan too. We'll talk to you later.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Zen. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all give it up for Zen one more time. We'll see you next time, Zen. That's Zen Sutherland. Fantastic writer and inventor and animator now, and all kinds of things. Renaissance human being here from Asheville, North Carolina. And yes, indeed, thank you. Shout out to our technical director, Morgan Beissert. And shout out to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava, keeping us going for 10 plus years now as an open mic in Asheville. And during the past just about a year now, we have been online in the virtual realms, bringing this fantastic show all around the world now, so we can all connect, we can stay connected, we can keep the vibe alive, and keep sharing our art, music, and love. So anyway, hope we're bringing a little warmth into your homes and a little love tonight here on the stream. So keep it locked here. We got a few more performers for you tonight. We got Tommy coming up, but first we have Ease Dog in the house, I believe, and we might even have a spot or two left later on if anyone else wants to join in. Follow that StreamYard link, and if you did sign up for a spot tonight, make sure you have followed that StreamYard link and you're connected and ready to go here, because we're putting people on the virtual mic. And so let's see. East Dog is a well-known rapper from Charlotte, from Asheville. Why did I say Charlotte? From Asheville. I'm looking at Morgan. He lives in Charlotte. By the way, yeah, Morgan's here tonight, and so much love for our technical director. But yes, East Dog, well-known rapper from Asheville. He's been doing it for a long time here in Asheville. He makes awesome beats and awesome tracks. You can check him out on SoundCloud or just Google Ease Dog, Giggle Ooze Dog, and all that stuff. And but yeah, he's been a favorite at the open mic. He's a favorite at the Kava bar here for now a long time. So let's see. Let's see if we can get Ease Dog connected. Y'all gonna have to make a whole bunch of noise, though. It's Ease Doggy Dog. Give it up!
What's up?
What's up, Ease?
Not much. Just chilling.
Hell yeah, man. You're looking good, man. What are you up to?
Nothing much. Just chilling, man.
Right.
But check this out, though, and stuff, though. You ain't gonna believe what I done picked up and stuff, though.
All right.
Look at
what? Nuh-uh. Oh, my God. Can we get a full shot on that? Oh, that's fantastic. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
So now I know you already produce a lot of your own beats and stuff, right?
Right.
So how is this this thing gonna help you take your music to the next level? You got like turntables now and a beat machine there and everything? Like,
yeah,
what are you working with?
I did the beats on the computer though and stuff though.
Right.
But I actually started like doing like my little setup and stuff though on there. So not only I can actually play the tracks easy and stuff though, and control the sounds, but also I can actually do a little scratching and stuff though, which I'm about to go ahead and give y'all a little sample and stuff though right now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a little sample of my little mixing and stuff though off of my Ain't No Party Like Ease Dog Party Jam.
That's what's up. Okay. Well, let's turn it over to Ease Dog then. Everybody out there, make some noise for Ease. Give it up.
Ow! The dog was loose, and we're live once again at my crib. How's everyone doing? I'm going to try to go ahead and turn the other light on and stuff, though, so I ain't glaring and stuff, though. Yeah, that's a bit better. But yeah, I actually just started doing this DJ shit though, like about a few weeks ago. I actually was thinking about trying out DJing for the longest. And luckily, they actually have these babies and stuff though over at the Guitar Center and stuff though for about less than $150. So since they had a sale on it and stuff though, I might as well go ahead, give it a shot though and stuff though, and see if I enjoy it enough to upgrade later on. But I don't think I'll be able to do that though, because like where else I'm going to find another DJ turntable controller that actually lights up like it is? Like, look, they have lights up like this. Look at that. Look at that. That's unbelievable right there. Yeah, so I actually been working on my skills and stuff though for a long time and stuff, and I'm actually catching on pretty good though. So matter of fact, I'm actually gonna start doing this and stuff on here to actually play my tracks on here from now on. So it'll be much easier. So right now, I'm about to go ahead and give y'all a little sample and stuff though, of my mixing and stuff though off of my Ain't No Party Like an Eavesdrop Party. I hope y'all enjoy this. Throw your hands up. Throw your motherfucking hands up. It's a party tonight. Dog party tonight. Everyone's invited. Eavesdrop on the track. Ain't no party like an Eavesdrop party, cause the Eavesdrop party don't stop. Ain't no party like an Eavesdrop party, cause the Eavesdrop party don't stop. Ain't no party like an Eavesdrop party, cause the Eavesdrop party don't stop. Ain't no party like an Eavesdrop party, cause the Eavesdrop party don't stop. Everybody say, everybody you are in. Let them know what the motherfucking business. Invite everyone to my business. I'm not Snoop, but I got gin and juice. Cause they not Snoop, but I got gin and juice. Cause they not Snoop, but I got not Snoop, but I got not Snoop, but I got gin and juice. Cause they in the goose, cause the legend is. To get over your club, break your all the rules. You already know what we'll do. Where you from? East side. Where you from? West side. North from east side. Where you from? West side. North from east side. Where you from? East side. Where you from? East side. Where you from? West side. North from east side. Where you from? West side. North side. South side. Everybody, let's ride on the hated ass fools like a 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 bulldozer. Just your game down, cause it's game over. ASHEViLLE, taking this rap shit. 838, 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 838, 838, taking this rap shit. NC, taking this rap shit. The whole South, taking this rap shit. Ain't no party like an Eavesdrop party, cause the Eavesdrop party don't stop. Ain't no party like an Eavesdrop party, cause the Eavesdrop party don't stop. Ain't no party like an Eavesdrop party, cause the Eavesdrop party don't stop. Ain't no party like an Eavesdrop party, cause the Eavesdrop party don't stop. Hey there, sissy girl, what you doing? Hey there, sissy girl, what you doing? Hey there, sissy. 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 Hey there, sissy girl, what you doing? Get your fine ass up, what you doing? Go ahead, girl, you make it right. Do your thing, girl. Do your thing, girl. Cause it's your night. Get your drink on. And you smoke on, get your drink on, and you smoke on, get your drink 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 on, and you smoke on. I'm that big time about to get my roll on. Young freaks are coming out tonight. I'm that boy. tonight. Everybody scream, just everybody scream, just everybody scream, just everybody scream, everybody scream. Just like you woke up from a real bad dream. Look at my wrist, it's a flash time. Put his head to his head, make a fly. We don't need no heat, let them. We don't need no heat, let them. We don't need no. We don't need no. We don't need no heat. Let them motherfucker freeze. Freeze, motherfucker. Freeze. Ain't no party like an eavesdrop party, cause the eavesdrop party don't stop. Ain't no party like ain't no party like an eavesdrop party, cause the eavesdrop party don't stop. Ain't no party like an eavesdrop party, cause the eavesdrop party don't stop. Ain't no party like an eavesdrop party, cause the eavesdrop party don't stop. Huh, what you think about that? Yeah, you didn't know your boy had it in him, did y'all? So I've been waiting for a very long time to actually showcase my mixing skills and stuff though on the ones and twos. I have been practicing and stuff though for this though, because I know y'all been riding with me and stuff though ever since I've been on the mic doing my thing. You know, me making my beats and stuff though, producing and everything though. And why not add DJing and stuff though as my resume? So that's what happens and stuff though when you actually be holed up and stuff though because of the COVID pandemic and stuff though. And you bored out of your mind and stuff though, trying to figure out what else you can do. But yeah, I'm actually gonna go ahead and kick off with a first track, original performance track. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yes, I really appreciate y'all. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm actually gonna go ahead and start doing this and stuff though on a regular basis and stuff though. Trying to get my notice up and stuff though. But I'm gonna go ahead and start the song off and stuff though with a special song. With a very special message. Yeah, I'm talking about the message of acceptance. Because I know as human beings, we all gotta be accepting and stuff though in everything. Yeah, so I'm just happy and stuff that I'm actually get to do this for y'all though. I really appreciate it. Because we all need to hear this message like more than ever. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got a lot of comments still. But yeah, I'm about to go ahead and get my little thing together. All right, let's go ahead and kick off the acceptance. ASHEVILLE's finest. Ease Dog on the track. This is my true story. And for those who struggle to be accepted by society, I just want acceptance. Is it too much to ask for? Just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. Was a young boy, was to be accepted, but instead constantly keep on getting rejected. I'm respecting others, but I still get disrespected by my own damn fear. Just feel so helpless, thinking about what you win, what have I done? All I ask is a fair chance, just this one. Can I get a true relationship with a boss or a fair shot, making me a decent job? It's wishful thinking. Welcome to my world. Really have opportunities with a girl. Just because I speak a certain way, behave a certain way. This type of shit happens every day. I be asking to myself, Lord, why me? Why I be hating me in my body? Learn to love myself. That's who I am. If you don't like me, I don't give a damn. I just want acceptance. Is it too much to ask for? Just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. Life is just not fair. Story of my life. Feeling like I'm getting backstabbed with a knife. I feel so alone in my own bubble. I'm just a young fella. Wants to be cuddled. Love and care unconditionally. That is what the word acceptance means to me. I be trying hard just to fit in. It be hard sometimes, feeling like quitting. I may be super different, but we're the same being. Exclusion, injustice, that's all I have been seeing in my own life. Something needs to give for the next person living the life I live. You are not alone, and so is you and you. I'm not a preacher, but I speak the real truth. Don't kill me off, just give me a chance. I don't be asking much, but some acceptance. I just want acceptance. Is it too much to ask for? Just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. We're all going to struggle to be accepted sometime. Based on religion, sexual orientation, disability, race, and etc. It's an unjust world. But you know what? Don't feel down or discouraged, because you are not alone. I just want acceptance. Is it too much to ask for? Just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. Oh yeah, and that was my jam, acceptance. Oh yeah, sleep on it, live on it, wake good on it. Oh yeah, ha ha ha. But yeah, I'm glad that y'all like that song. But I'm about to go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all know I'm actually in the process of recording soon though and stuff though, and hope y'all hopefully within the summer we'll try to get things calmed down with it, the pandemic. I heard that the COVID cases been dropping though and stuff though, which is good, because like I actually found out and stuff though, I was looking through the news and stuff articles and find out that the COVID cases have been coming down pretty quick and stuff though. Yeah, I've been happy about it though, because I've been wanting to get out and perform for the longest. Yeah, so I'm actually, hopefully, we'll get back on stage just like old time, like for real. Because I know y'all miss me performing live. Should I miss performing live for y'all? But yeah, I'm about to go ahead and kick out with one last song, only because my batteries running low and stuff though. But I was just glad to showcase my new skills and stuff though. But yeah, I'm about to go ahead and let y'all know the name of my next project, Asher's Finest 2, Heart of the Streets. But once this pandemic cloud blows over, we're going to go ahead and keep on with the Asher's Finest campaign because I still got that music video out there. We're trying to get it up to 1,000. Let's go ahead and get the views up for the Asher's Finest. A wonderful video, by the way. So we're about to go ahead. Oh yes, we definitely gonna party. So right now, speaking of party, we're about to go ahead and kick off my last song of the night and stuff though. And the song is called ASHEViLLE V1.12. We're about to go ahead and have a party. And we're about to have ASHEViLLE right here. So y'all go ahead, get off your seats. And this is a fire beat I produced, by the way. So here it is, ASHEViLLE V1.2, produced by me under my beat moniker E's Dog on the track. Let's go. Yeah, put that bass in your face. Represent. Hey, E's Dog on the track. Y'all remember a long time ago, I made this song on Reverb Nation called ASHEViLLE, spelled out ASHEVILLE. But now, this is ASHEViLLE. V1.2. Started out from the bottom, now I'm here. Look at me now, holding it down, straight with the A. Not the A down, I laid it down. For my city, ASHEViLLE bound. 8 to 8 every day when I'm at work on my grind, doing my thing on the stage, play for the clip, the car the hill, from the hood, I rap the bill, from up the mountain, some the high, some that won't, I'm very sure, taking the old school like a say, the Genesis, remember this, I was the same, rap and bang, in 2006, yeah. Hey. This is for my city, I'm a rep it. S. It's for my shoes, I'm a step it. H. Here is the shit that I just made. E's Dog is the name, still don't play. V is the video, I is the deal. Live for the A, die for the A, feel L. Living like a king without a crown. Ease up in here, lay it down for my old town. Switch it up, hottest of the hot, can't pull me out. Ease Dog is my URL SoundCloud. Watch me on the YouTube, subscribe to me. If you got an Instagram, go ahead and follow Easy. Yo, go and spread the word. Easy's coming through to an area and been near you. Now, get on the internet and check me out. Hey, ASHEViLLE is the city, I'ma spell it out. Hey. This is for my city, I'm a rep it. S is for my shoes, I'm a step it. H, here is the shit that I just made. E's Dog is the still don't play. V is the bill, I is the deal. L for the A, die for the A, feel L. Living like a king without a crown. A's up in here, lay it down for my old town. I become my beast when I have the mic. Try if you like, stay in my gun to feel my strike. Rubbing my shine over my dead body, this my life. Very for life, treating this rap shit like a right. And taking no L's, always winning, that's why I do it. Giving my fans what they love with my wonderful music. Got your speakers switched up and call it bad rock. Tonight it niggas easy, when I let the ball drop. Ease dog, been doing this since back in the days when they had to spit two. Get a major deal, no go overnight. Me, piece of sunglasses, cut my future bright. ASHEViLLE. Always been, always will, represent my city. ASHEViLLE. If you love this joint, go ahead and put it on repeat. That's right. Hey, this is for my city, I'm a rap it. S is for my shoes, I'm a step it. H, here is the shit that I just made. E, doggy dog is the name, still don't play. V is the bill, I is the deal. L, live for the A, die for the A, feel L. Living like a king without a crown. Ease up in here, lay it down for my own town. A's dog of the track. At your finest. Hey, L. Yeah, and that was my last little jam of the night. Address V1.2. Also on the track for the Actress Finest EP. If y'all haven't copped that, go ahead and cop that and stuff though. Let me know. And if you actually have copied it and stuff though, which some of y'all already have, should thank y'all for riding with the Ease Dog and stuff, do all this and stuff though. But before I get off of here, I have to tell y'all, go to my SoundCloud, listen to my hot jams, including the hot one called Future's Sake. The song about the pandemic and stuff though is a hot song. Everybody knows the hook. Yeah, y'all gotta listen to that. SoundCloud, Ease Dog. Just type in Ease Dog on their search engine, and then follow me if you haven't done so on Instagram, Ease Doggy Dog, at Ease Doggy Dog. And know whenever I'm be doing next, just keep it with me on Reverb Nation / Ease Dog Facebook page. And yeah, I definitely love doing this for y'all though. And let's go ahead and keep the good times rolling every Wednesday. And hope that the pandemic will go ahead and get through so we can do what we love doing outside. Because I'm ready to go outside. But we got to go ahead and work with ourselves first by keeping safe and being safe. But when in doubt, Google Ease Dog. Don't forget to watch my music video on my YouTube, Ease Dog, or Actress Finest on the YouTube search engine. All right, go ahead, Caleb.
That's what's up. Thank you, Ease. Great stuff. Fantastic, man. Ease, I didn't know you could scratch.
Shit, I didn't know I could scratch either those stuff though. I just randomly decided to go ahead and try it out.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Try it, man. You never know till you try, right?
I know, right? Yeah, I'm loving it too.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I hope you keep doing that. And shit, man, we might have to have a scratch battle at the Kava bar when things get back in action.
Yeah, I know, right? And stuff though.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, Rachel. Yeah, but somebody always be asking me like, where are the Ease Dog hats and stuff though? Every time I turn around, I come down to the Kava bar. Somebody's always asking for an Ease Dog hat and stuff though, but
everybody
wants
an Ease Dog hat.
I only have one left too. I only have one left.
Well, you might have to get some more made up when things come back, because I know people still want those hats, man.
Yeah, I know,
Ease
right?
Dog hats. I got mine. I love it.
Yeah. So I definitely got to start bringing my Ease Dog hat with me and stuff though. Every time I get me a shot.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. And you got a free double waiting on you for your performance tonight, for sure.
Oh,
so
yeah,
all the performers get a free double every week, so be sure and take advantage of that. And Ease, I hope you can come back soon and show us some more scratching. I obviously I don't know much about the technology, you know, but the Newmark's good stuff, you know. I do know that. And so I know you can do a lot with that thing, right?
Oh yeah, of course. It's just something to start with, though, like an entry level type and stuff, though. But I'm getting.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking about upgrading though in the future, though, to do some more effects.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, it sounded good, man, and I hope you'll come back and do some more of that soon. And it's always good to see you, Ease.
Thank you. Same with y'all. Y'all be safe now.
Thank you. We will, and you be safe as well. Thank you so much, right. Ease Dog. Everybody give it up one more time for Ease Dog, Asheville, North Carolina. Asheville's finest. Thank you, Ease. Hell yeah. And thank you all for joining us tonight for Poetry Open Mic Asheville. We're here joining you from an undisclosed location in the mountains of North Carolina, deep in the mountains. To wherever you are tonight, keep it locked here. We still got some more coming at you tonight. And we're very excited for that. As I said, check out our sponsor, Sovereign Kava. Shout out to our technical director, Morgan Beissert, for really working with things tonight. And, you know, keeping the fire going. So we're going to keep it going for you here tonight. We still got some more poetry and art and magical things for you. Tommy Gaffney's connected tonight. I believe we have Tommy, and we're very excited about that. Yes, indeed. So let's get Tommy beamed in here. Y'all have to make a whole bunch of noise for him to hear you, though. Yeah, there you go. Yes, indeed. Tommy, what's up? Joining us from the shop in Portland, Oregon. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, back in Portland, Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, okay, very good. Yeah. Very good.
I got the two filled together. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you.
Okay. Cool.
Morgan says, yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Right.
We're going to turn it over to you to read the poems now. If you can hear us. We can hear you.
All right.
Okay, cool. Hey, give it up for Tommy Gaffney.
Yeah, thanks, man. Good time, buddy. This is an old Louisville poem. Kenny was the best grill man in old Louisville. He'd sit on the shared patio in a lawn chair, drinking his MGD and smoking his cool, full flavors, watering meats with a spray bottle from noon till dusk, waiting for them wings to blossom. The grill was a tin bucket and some oversized grating he'd found out by the dumpsters. I never saw Kenny eat. To him, this was currency he was tending. The stock boy at the state store really liked his wings and would trade a bottle of mid-shelf for a dozen. The cashier at the thrift store liked brisket, so did the cashier at the pharmacy. The nudie bar bouncers out on 7th Street all liked ribs, every damn one of them. From each rib an Eve sprung just for Kenny, at least for a dance. Kenny was my first ever neighbor in my first ever apartment. He introduced himself by handing me 2 joints in the hallway. "Thank you for what you did for my boys," he said. Earlier that day, out on the shared patio, I was shanking my hacky sack like the true poser I was when the cutest little twins came out of nowhere and asked me to show them how. Perfect gentlemen they were, these 10-year-olds, their questions and their awe. Some people cross the street when little black boys walk towards them, Kenny said, as he handed me the joints. Kenny liked to watch me play basketball at Wyandotte Park. I'd have to give him a ride. He didn't drive. He'd bring his grill and some chicken legs, his MGD, that fucking lawn chair. We were good time buddies, and his favorite thing about me was watching the South End cave in on itself whenever they underestimated me. Tried to tell y'all, he'd say. My favorite thing about Kenny was Kenny. Kenny was there for me when I dropped out of college. I didn't care about dropping out, really, except for the telling everybody I dropped out part of dropping out. I was never a practice player anyway. I brought it when it mattered. Kenny didn't give a shit either way. Thanks for what you did for my boys, he said. As thorough a commencement speech I'd ever receive. Kenny had contraband in the empty apartment upstairs. Goods he had traded for but not yet unloaded. He offered me a satin turtleneck from the closet. White girls like turtlenecks, he said. I declined. My brand of white girls didn't like turtlenecks. Kenny weren't no practice player either. He never let his weakness be known lest someone use it against him, not his kids, those sweet 10-year-olds full of fuck yeah. Not his pretty blonde girlfriend with her pretty blonde name, Michelle. Not his pot-dealing brother, somehow more smooth and more kind than he. We were good time buddies. I'd follow him up to the empty apartment upstairs whenever he asked. His weakness was the song Lady in Red, and it left him in tatters. He told me about being black in Kentucky. He told me about the courts believing mothers, no matter the fiction they spun, and how he struggled to show his boys that daddies ain't bad just because mom says so. His curriculum, though unsteady, is the realest they get in all the years he demand they spend in school. I was 19. Kenny was 36 probably. He never let his weakness be known to anyone except maybe me. Fresh college dropout. Busboy. Dodger of bill collectors, driver of a Toyota bought from an auction that broke down before the ink could dry. Good time buddy. All right, this one is, I never read this out loud, so if I fuck it up, I apologize. This is an I-71 poem. It's called Grandma's Kitchen. It's about truck stops. We were talking about truckers earlier. That great writer that was on. So I was inspired to read this tonight. Grandma's Kitchen. I worked the front desk and heard it all. Truckers get to talking that truck stop gospel and think no one's listening. I know what it's like to sit up there in jail with next to nothing. So I bring her cigarettes and Twinkies. And pretty good shrimp up here in Grandma's Kitchen. And you got to let your shop rags air out. And in Memphis, I once saw a cripple up and run. And I ain't scared of the gallows. In fact, I'll take the first elevator up the scaffolds if it means I get out of this goddamn contract with J.B. Hunt. All that solitary got every parishioner thinking they a prophet. I worked the front desk and heard it all. Lilith had the prettiest smile in Trimble County. But this was Henry County, and she had maybe third prettiest at best. Part of my job was chasing off the lot lizards. They embarrassed me when they flirted, so I'd call their kids instead. Come get your mama, man. She's out in the parking lot again. Homeboy was my age and more embarrassed than he needed to be in front of me. They needed the money, he'd say. I know, man, I'd tell him. He had to do worse growing up, I wanted to say, only it was hard to sling that when his mother came stumbling through the front doors, zipping up her pants. Pino was a cook in the restaurant. Pino cut hair in the parking lot when it was slow, and he was damn good. Made more money out there than working at Flat Top in Grandma's Kitchen. When he finished, he insisted you come back and meet his family, have a glass of red wine and meatballs, real meatballs, he'd say. Pino was full of shit. Ours is a dry county, and bootleggers never wasted their time on anything less than sustenance. Wine was a luxury and hard to move. That motherfucker didn't have any wine. Pino was Italian and swore his youngest boy was a priest in the Catholic Church, the real church, he called it. Pino was full of shit. Until his youngest boy stumbled through the front doors asking for his old man and a grace none of us Baptists had ever seen before. Brother Dale pushed a broom and cleaned the bathrooms and showers. He was head preacher down at the Baptist church a few miles out, but it didn't pay much beyond free rent on a split-level ranch and free food on potluck Thursdays. God told him in a dream to go get a second fucking job. At Grandma's Kitchen, he'd get to talking that truck stop gospel, thinking everybody's listening. I'd rather have Jesus than anything this world affords, and no one comes to the Father except through me, and have mercy on those who doubt. All that absolution got every messenger thinking they a prophet. I worked the front desk and heard it all, epiphanies, deviations, U-turns, and more lies than in any logbook. I clocked out of every shift at sunrise, wondering if it was a sin to believe in everything I'm told. Wonder which God would win the right to set me adrift from the earth when the time came. Thank you. And then one more, if y'all don't mind. This is a Linview poem. It's called Potato Bug Hill. From behind my windshield, the sunset was silent and violent, but there's a new moon tomorrow. That's part of the promise. I had an Irish concussion and was dealing with the backlash of a dry mouth, and all the bits designed to do my proper thinking struggled in their charge. The house she grew up in sat on a cliffside on Potato Bug Hill, and she joked it was all downhill from there. Her father's sneezes would rattle the beans in the sugar jar, and she'd flinch as if the house might tumble over. I thought often of her joke not ever being a joke at all, and I thought about the rage beyond her smile, as benign as Mars. She condemned herself to the nectar of the moment and not much more. She'd say, let's go find some noise down the road somewhere. But we always landed ass backwards at the end of the north runway, surprised at our domesticity, laying atop my sensible hatchback and tickling each other with our plans on who we would probably end up being and who we would probably end up being with. It was all freight. But from below, a UPS plane looks as elegant as an airship from the Golden Age, especially when you ain't been nowhere further than a tank of gas could take you. I'd never seen the Madison Regatta. She'd never seen the Kentucky Derby. Any bets we placed together. And we always put everything on the long shot, the fluke adorned in the robes of a sure thing. Hothouse roses and vodka slammers. She shushed me over noises, not the planes coming and going. She'd heard that before. There's no romance in the familiar. But the noises with rhythm, nature, math, crawdads and rodents, crickets. Peace, she said, peace might just be too far for us to keep up with. I gave you some real good stories, she said, after cracking my windshield with her combat boots. Something about her grace and my patience not seeing eye to eye. This particular fight was about the jazz sounds in factories and how she thought Coltrane was no good for efficiency. Growing up on a cliffside makes one wary of erratic composition. I might be a studying cliche, I said, but I believe in the sound of hooves breaking away from the pack, and I believe a landing is a landing, smooth or not, and I believe in love even on staggered gallows for separate crimes. In my dreams anymore, when the boogeyman comes, I fight her back now. It's the awake part of living I struggle with. My windshield is cracked in a pattern that Coltrane would hire to play piano. The best view of the sunset is still at the airport, North Runway. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Caleb and Morgan and all the other readers. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Tommy. Very good stuff, dude. Thank you. Yes. Good buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Very good stuff, man. It's always good to see you rolling through here and sharing that good poetry with us, man. I love that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
Thank you. Very good. Hope you can make it back soon. Good to see you, Tommy. Y'all give it up one more time for Tommy Gaffney. That's the man. Woo. Very good. Thank you so much, Tommy. All the way from Portland, Oregon tonight. It's great to have our friends from all over the place tonight. So wherever you're joining in from, we're glad to see you. We welcome you. Thank you. Yeah, fucking awesome stuff, right? That's Tommy Gaffney, Portland, Oregon. Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, it's been a great night, folks. Everyone's been fantastic. I've had a great time doing it with you. And I hope we've been able to bring a little warmth and a little love and maybe some catharsis and some community to wherever you are tonight. So thank you for keeping it locked here. And thank you to Morgan Beissert. Thank you to Sovereign Kava, our sponsor. Y'all get those Kava shots and get it in. Yes, indeed. I'm going to read some poems to close this out tonight. Those of you still tuned in out there, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. And, you know, keep doing what you do. Keep making that beautiful art. Keep putting your voices out there in the world. It's important work. I'll read this poem called Dream Spell Synchronous. The raindrops beat like broken buckets, buckshot sprayed garbage pails, and rubber banded barrels, orificial and holy, still capable of music. Producing a session with 10,000 players. The sawed off whistles shriek, piercing the sun, with lurid turrets syncopating, while conch shells billow with sea waves darting, and enemies make time for a child to be born and learn to swim. No noise can harm the one who harmonizes with it. No gesture can destroy the one who from it blooms. Enough, said freedom to chains. Enough, said people's voices full of cancer from fear. Its tigers will terrorize unless a lesson is learned. There lie deep pockets of wilderness we must never go. We must leave for the creatures we've never known. The air is leaking and somehow we must sew quilts of it. Turtles reckon they're better off swimming, but still return to the shore. Ancient tea is beneficial too. Rockets were made for art, not war, though art is war. And much depends upon a purple umbrella upside down, brimming with rainwater beside the gray pigeons. The rain keeps falling out the window and falling, 20 stories about falling, and the rain falls looks like rain. She brings the rain. God knows I tried. Africa, in the early morning rain, purple rain, you look like rain. The rain, super duper fly. And the terroir here is like jewels. Keep on swimming to the estuary where all our endangered loves breathe, our gray whales and stellar sea lions, limitless, unseen fire birthing the sky. Epistle on the way of emptiness. In a day for no reason. Chemical loneliness. Stark shadows of window panes across the wood floor. I'm friends with the houseplants. The desk is too hard. The chair too upright. The lamp a little too harsh. I write to Neely Tchaikovsky. I hear a child saying hello outside in the middle of the night, then realize it's a cat. A cyclone of car in the distance. Neely, I'm afraid of the attic as a child. I'm surrounded by books I can't understand. The museums are full of empty vases. Neely, the wind chimes don't make any sound here. can't find a single poet in the coffee shops. Tell me it was all a dream. Tell me it was all a dream. It was all a dream. I wring out laundry in the rank world. Blackbirds fly in and out of an open window. For centuries, distress was my dwelling place. I look skyward and dream, head resting in an open window. Tall buildings and street poles block my view. So I throw all my possessions out of an open window. Kings and lobbyists lie down in their palaces. A falcon with a note appears at the open window. Rulers cannot be trusted. Nothing has changed. A bandit steals my soul and makes through an open window. Beside the oak bookshelf, a wine bottle full of peacock feathers. The invisible world lies just beyond the open window. Here's a few cover poems to close us out for the night. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun, y'all. It's been a really good open mic. Really appreciate that. Thanks for the comments. Thank you so much. I'll do some more Hirschfield. Jane Hirschfield. Falcon. Incapable of betrayal. A tree. Incapable of holding a secret. A stone. Without contempt for self or other. An ant. A bee. Today, I and the unhooded bird that sits on my head are looking in different directions. I into the blurring past, he into the blurring future. How many other pasts and futures between and around us we miss? Incapable of ungenerosity. Grass. Cut. It simply keeps growing. Without obligation. Mosquitoes. How close to human must the breathed-in air come before it develops a sense of shame or humor? Each day, the falcon's view a little clearer. Each day, the falcon's view a little clearer. Thomas Lux. I saw Thomas Lux give a reading once at WCU. My grandmother's funeral. At least 100 seabirds attended my grandmother's funeral, and we live over 100 miles from the coast. They flew right into the Episcopal Church and stayed for the entire service. No one said anything about them when it was over. 100 seabirds. We were all sitting around on folding chairs, rented from the undertaker. And no one said a word about the seabirds. Even the Reverend, who was once a prisoner of the Japanese, and whose eyes were tunneled deep into his head, didn't seem to mind. I watched when a few of them perched on the special chalice. He didn't budge. It was harder for him, but he knew, as well as the rest of us, that seabirds are imperturbable, and that they keep away the larger birds, the birds that sit on the coffin, making it almost impossible to carry. Oh, indeed, seabirds. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. It's been a pleasure. I'm gonna share one of these deep poems from Galway Kinnell, the great poet, from his Book of Nightmares. This is the call across the valley of not knowing. In the red house sinking down into ground rot, a lamp at one window, the snarled ashes letting a single flame go free, a shoe of dreaming iron nailed to the wall, two mismatched halfnesses lying side by side in the darkness. I can feel with my hand the fetus rouse himself with a huge, fishy thrash and resettle in his darkness. Her hair glowing in the firelight, her breasts full, her belly swollen, a sunset of firelight wavering all down one side. My wife sleeps on, happy, far away, in some other newly opened room of the world. Sweat breaking from his temples. Aristophanes ran off at the mouth, made it all up, nightmared it all up on the spur of that moment which has stabbed us ever since. That each of us is a torn half, whose lost other we keep seeking across time until we die or give up or actually find her. With them. As I myself. In an Ozark Airlines DC-6, droning over towns made of crossroads headed down into Waterloo, Iowa, actually found her. Held her face for a few hours in my hands, and for no reasons. Cowardice, loyalties, all which go by the name necessity. Left her. And yet I think it must be the wound itself, which lets us know and love, which forces us to reach out to our misfit by a kind of poetry of the soul, accomplish for a moment the wholeness the drunk Greek extrapolated from his high or flagellated out of an empty heart. That purest, most tragic concumbents, strangers, clasped into one, a moment of their moment on earth. She who lies halved beside me. She and I once watched the bees, dreamers not yet dipped into the acids of the craving for anything and not yet burned down into flies sucking the blossom dust from the pear tree in spring. We too lay out together under the tree on the earth beside our empty clothes, our bodies open to the sky and the blossoms glittering, and the sky floated down and the bees glittered in the blossoms, and the bodies of our hearts opened under the knowledge of the tree on the grass of the knowledge of graves and among the flowers of the flowers. And the brain kept blossoming all through the body until the bones themselves could think, and the genitals sent out wave after wave of holy desire until even the dead brain cells surged and fell in godlike androgynous fantasies. And I understood the unicorn's phallus could have risen after all directly out of thought itself. Of that time in a southern jail, when the sheriff, as he cursed me and spat, took my hand in his hand, rocked the pulps from the worlds, and tinted the archways into the tabooed realm, that underlife, where the canaries of the blood are singing, pressed in the flesh flowers into the dirty book of the police blotter. Afterwards, what I remembered most was the care, the almost loving animal gentleness of his hand on my hand. Better than the rest of us, he knows the harshness of that cubicle in hell where they put you, with all your desires undiminished, and with no body to appease them. And when he himself floats out on a sea he almost begins to remember, floats out into a darkness he has known already, when the moan of wind and the gasp of lungs call to each other among the waves, and the wish to float comes to matter not at all as he sinks under. Is it so impossible to think that he will dream back to all the hands, black and white, he took in his hands as the creation touches him a last time all over his body? Suppose I had stayed with that woman of Waterloo. Suppose we had met on a hill called Safa in our own country, that we had lain out on the grass and looked into each other's blindness, under the leaf shadows wavering across our bodies in the drifts of sun, our faces inclined toward each other as hens incline their faces when the heat flows from the warmed egg back into the whole being. And the silver moon had stood still for us in the middle of heaven. I think I might have closed my eyes and moved from then on like the born blind, their faces gone into heaven already. We, 7, we, who live out our plain lives, who put our hand into the hand of whatever we love, as it vanishes, as we vanish, and stumble toward what will be, simply by arriving, a kind of fate. Some field, maybe, of flaked stones scattered in starlight, where the flesh swaddles its skeleton a last time before the bones go their way without us. Might we not hear, even then, the bear call from his hillside, a call like ours, needing to be answered? And the damn bear call back across the darkness of the valley of not knowing. The only word tongues shape without intercession. Yes. 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 Thank you for coming to Open Mic tonight. I'll leave you with the words of the Sufi mystic Jalaluddin Rumi of the Barks translation. Check us out again here next week. Same time. Same virtual place. Thanks to our technical director, Morgan Beissert, and thanks to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava. I'm your host, Caleb Beissert. The seed market. Can you find another market like this? Where with one rose you can buy hundreds of rose gardens. Where for one seed you can get a whole wilderness. For one weak breath, the divine wind. You've been fearful of being absorbed in the ground or drawn up by the air. Now your water bead lets go and drops into the ocean where it came from. It no longer has the form it had, and it's still water. Still water. The essence is the same. Still water. This giving up is not a repenting. It's a deep honoring of yourself. When the ocean comes to you as a lover, fuck it once, for God's sake. Quickly. Don't postpone it. Existence has no better gift. No amount of searching will find this. A perfect falcon. For no reason. Has landed on your shoulder. And become ours. Become yours. A perfect falcon. For no reason. Has landed on your shoulder. One night a man was crying in the street. One night a person was crying in the street. Allah. 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 Their lips grew sweet with the praising. Until a cynic said, I've heard you calling out, but have you ever gotten any response? I've heard you calling out, but have you gotten any response? The man had no answer to this. He quit praising and fell into a confused sleep. In his dream, he saw Hitter, the guide of souls, in a thick green foliage. Why did you stop praising? Because I never heard anything back. This longing you express is the return message. The grief that you cry out from, it draws you toward union. Your pure sadness that wants help. It's the secret cup. Listen to the moan of a dog for its master. Listen to the moan of a dog for its master. Listen to the moan of a dog for its master. That whining is the connection. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. Give your life to be one of them. There are love dogs. There are love dogs. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. Give your life to be one of them. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. Give your life to be one of them. What are your dogs' names? Leave your dogs' names in the comments. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. There are love dogs no one will ever know the names of. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. Give your life to be one of them. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. Check us out next time for more open mic. There are love dogs no one will ever know the names of. But give your life to be one of them. Give your life to be one of them. Give your life to be one of them. Thanks for being one of them. Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Love stream. Much love, y'all. Caleb Beissert signing off. Thanks, y'all. Technical Director Morgan Beissert. Sponsor Sovereign Kava. Next time.
Max Milner on the keyboards, Jason Moore on saxophone, Aaron Price on bass, Chris Cooper on guitar. I'm Caleb Beissert. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. It means a lot. Y'all take care of your barkeeps. Get home safe. Hopefully we'll see you again sometime. Cheers.